Once again, Dane Coles leading the All Black haka. And we had the Fijian war dance, the Thimbi, first performed way back in 1939. Paul Williams is tonight's match referee. Mike Fraser, John O'Brien, his assistants, and the TMO tonight, Chris Hart. And we're not far away from the start here in the 6th ever test match. There have been a number of unofficial test matches in the early days, but this is the 6th official test match, the last of which was the last played at Carisbrook back in 2011.
We got a 10-second countdown on the screen when it comes. 10 seconds coming now.
Big night, the return of Brodie Retallick after 2 years away from international rugby. Bowden Barrett has the ball. Referee blows the whistle, and away we go. And down it goes to fullback Muri Valu, as the Fijians take it outside their 22. And taken in by hooker Matavasi. Back now for Volavolo to make the clearing kick. And it's Geordie Barrett linking up with brother Bodie. And away goes the kick. High, very high. And nicely done, nicely brought under control by Kuru Voli, the young halfback, with just 7 minutes of international rugby behind him. And Fiji have the first penalty of the night.
That's a good start for Fiji. Kuruvoli, as you mentioned, getting his opportunity tonight through two of the more established nines, not being able to get out of Australia, and he had to deal with a very difficult up and under from Bowden Barrett, a spiral bomb which was drifting away from him. Took it well, got into the contact zone, and they win an early penalty. Fiji, good start from them.
Watching, boys, watching.
And the kick's not out from Volavolo, and so once again it's Jordan Barrett away to Bowden Barrett. And now the kick made by David Havili, back in the All Black team for the first time for a couple of seasons. And a spiralling punt away downfield is going to find Bowden Barrett, as he brings it back into Fiji territory, but he's got nobody with him. Now he flies it back to Smith, who gets it away to Havili, and the All Blacks have it 15 out from the 22, as Smith away for Geordie Barrett. A quick pass off from Retallick to Satutu, but his one goes backwards, and so now Blackadder has to tidy up. And the All Blacks still 15 out from the 22. Smith looking blindside, pops it away for Rico Ioane. Now Smith again to Palutu for the All Blacks, as Smith swings it away for Geordie Barrett. Lovely looking kick, towed ahead. Now can this stay in the field of play? No, not quite. Sevu Reece denied.
Oh, wouldn't that have been brilliant? A piece of Fijian flair coming from the All Blacks, from winger Sevu Reece. The kick was just a little bit ahead of him, but he played a little bit of football with it and nearly won the race to the ball.
Yeah, well, the All Black kicking game has been superior to that of Fiji in these early stages. Cannot make mistakes that Vola made, giving the All Blacks opportunities to counter-attack from deep. Got to be more accurate.
Hold it there, guys.
Volavolo again goes deep. Geordie Barrett takes it up almost to halfway. Another one of these swirling kicks, which are really difficult, but Volavolo does well, and he calls for the fair catch. Ben Volavolo, born in Australia and had one season at the Crusaders back in 2016, and bangs it off downfield, not looking for touch. as Beauden Barrett. Now here's Geordie Barrett going again. Tuipulotu takes it just over halfway. Smith looking for the quick ball, gives it away to Retallick. He makes 5 metres or so, and the ball has been ripped away. And here's Nakarawa in possession, but the Fijians lose it, and Maya Vanua has snapped it up. Kuruvoli at halfback gets it away, and punching it hard downfield. It's gone into touch. Sevu Reece thought about it and decided to hang on. Now he throws as the line out wasn't formed, and so Geordie Barrett swings it away out for Ioane. Enrico Ioane to the setup, and they've got another penalty at the breakdown as Fiji. And this is a real opportunity to maybe take the lead. Let's have a look and see whether they'll kick for goal.
Well, they look very good at the breakdown at the moment, Fiji. Earlier on, Johnny Dyer just managed to rip the ball free from Brodie Retallick. They will, in fact, have a shot. Vola has taken that option to secure the early points in this test match, but around the breakdown, Fiji very competitive. Here's Retallick going to ground. Watch Dyer, just rips it free, steals it off him. And this contact that Ioane goes into, they were quick in over the ball. Number 8, Tuisue, was there with assistance, and a valid penalty and an early opportunity for points.
Yeah, the All Blacks got to be a little bit careful they don't get drawn into wanting to play too loose early on. It's a test match after all, and Fiji will enjoy that. If the All Blacks are going to play that loose kind of running rugby, that's the brand that Fiji want to play. That's their way. They want pace and they want it thrown around. They'll capitalise on that.
Vola, and bang down the middle it goes. And Fiji have the early lead by 3 points to 0.
Well, they got it their own way last week, the All Blacks, but I think they know they're in a test match tonight.
So Beauden Barrett to get us going again. And taken in by the most experienced player on the field for the Fijians, Ione Nakarawa. Now Kuruvoli gets it across, looking to open up the angle a little for Vola. And his kick is safely this time into touch.
Great work.
That's just good execution. It's well drilled. Nice exit, a couple of carries, and then the clearance from Vola. It's good rugby.
Cody Taylor. Looks like the call coming from Retallick, won by Tuipulotu. Flat pass away to Ioane. Good tackle in midfield. Now Smith looking to swing it away to the left, holds the pass for a moment now with Tuipulotu. And now the All Blacks have a penalty coming their way as Tutu tries to go through the middle.
You've got Aaron, you've got this one or this one.
And there are 2 penalties actually, so Smith has an option.
Yeah, 2 times. You're not supporting body weight. I need to see you in it. No, I need to see you in a stronger position.
It was a very good tackle for the man on screen actually to lower Ioane. That's of course Batia, who plays his rugby at La Rochelle in France. They've had a great year, La Rochelle, and he's been a very integral part of it.
Well, I think if there's an area that Fiji really need to be relevant and front up tonight, that's scrum and line out. And Aaron Smith has recognised that. He's gone early doors for what will most likely be a line-out drive. Can Fiji combat this, or they'll be on the back foot all night?
Taylor's throw, grabbed by Retallick. Taylor slipping to the back there. Now they start the march. Trying to lean over the top is Tuisue. So Smith slings it away. Quick hands required. Out it goes to Geordie Barrett. And the All Blacks score their first try through Geordie Barrett.
Excellent execution from the All Blacks. Fiji did front up and managed to stop the driving maul. Albert Tuisue got over the top, got his hands on the ball, so Aaron Smith recognised he had to clear, but look at the hands here. Nice from Havili around the back. Nice interchange in the midfield as well. Geordie Barrett still had Sevu Reece outside. Didn't need it because of the slick handling.
Yeah, they'll be pleased that they got this one right from the set piece, the All Blacks, and both Barretts heavily involved. I thought, Justin, there was just a second there. I thought Aaron Smith might have lost control of that forward back onto the player at the back of that drive. But in the end, it was safely controlled.
15 tries in Test rugby now for Geordie Barrett. Spent a lot of time last year playing on the wing. So Beauden Barrett converts the try scored by his brother. And the All Blacks have the lead, nearly 10 minutes gone, by 7-3.
Just having a little quick look at the injection of George Bridge as it goes across the face to Havili and then onto Bridge now. And as he flicks it on, he always recognises the space, and the defender coming on him frees it up for Barrett. Excellent use of the left winger.
Vola with the restart to Pelotu, but a Fijian hand gets in there, and in fact it was knocked on by the All Blacks, so they'll play an advantage for a while. Kuruvoli away for Nakarawa, trying to hold him up off the ground, but it's there again for Kuruvoli, and there's no advantage there for the original knock-on.
Knock-on, white black. Scrum here, white ball. Knock on in the air by Black, scrum now.
And Smith a little bit agitated there for whatever reason.
Because he's got the 9 jersey on, I would suggest. Always feisty.
Yeah, correct.
Again, of particular interest to me is historically, and I know this, having played Fiji before, it's a massive target for the All Blacks when you're playing against these nations with their flair, their razzle-dazzle. Is trying to soak the energy out of them at line out, at scrum, those areas of the game, and try and put pressure on them. If they can get a good stable platform from their scrum line out, and we'll see from this scrum, then we're going to get a good contest all night.
Boy.
Simeone Kuruvoli.
Set.
Not a bad scrum, holding up nicely. Haven't really got Ndolo involved in the game as yet. Now it's Mayanava for Fiji, and they've won themselves another penalty here. And backing his way in goes Doinge, the prop forward. Now Muri Valu, the big fullback, not held, is able to keep going, takes it over the 22. Still playing under a penalty advantage, remember. And the ball comes free. And so back to the penalty. And Vola is there very quickly.
Again, it's just good disciplined rugby. The scrum was stable. The first phase was nice and direct, straight at Beauden Barrett. Good quick ball from that breakdown, and then a second runner hitting straight and hard with the decoy runner as well. And they managed to milk a penalty, so Tutu couldn't roll away. So good early indication that Fiji are here to play, not play sevens. They're here to play rugby that is structured around their strengths, and at this stage it's looking good.
Vola with his second penalty attempt guides it through. 7 points to 6 after 13 minutes here in Dunedin. Barrett from halfway. Lining it up and taking it down is Muri Valu, the fullback. Kuruvoli back for Vola. Waiting back is Geordie Barrett. He's got Bowden immediately to the left, who gets the pass now. Slings it wide. Off to Ioane. And the All Blacks take it 15 away from the 22. Havili hands it on for Laulala. Smith there quickly. Works it back through Havili. Oh, a bit of a no-look pass. And it went nowhere. And it was snapped up by Fiji. Still haven't seen Lindolo really get involved in the action as yet, as Geordie Barrett has all the time in the world here. And it goes rather off the side of the boot and into touch. Well, you mentioned structure, Justin, and I guess with 14 in the squad, 14 from France, 5 each from England and Scotland, they're used to structure.
Absolutely they are, and that's very evident. Very good coaching group they've got as well. Daryl Gibson, Glenn Jackson with Vern Cotter, also Jace Ryan from the Crusaders.
Quickly thrown, went to the front, but then a loose delivery to halfback Kuruvoli puts him under enormous pressure. And the All Blacks have walked clean over the top. So now Smith delivers off to Bowden Barrett, off the left boot, punching it down, but nicely read by Muri Valu. And then Vola taking a big hit, and the ball turned over quickly. Now Satutu goes wide. Here is Sevu Reece, who has the tough job of marking Ndolo tonight. And the All Blacks have got another penalty coming their way. Bowden Barrett slings it off to Retallick in centre field. Smith sweeps it away again, a Bowden Barrett. Now Ioane, who's been prominent early in this game. And nothing happening there, so they'll come back for the penalty. This is an All Black penalty.
Yeah, probably the first error that Fiji have made, and I don't mean the penalty at the breakdown, which was for entry from Albert Tuisue in the side. It was Vola the man, and shot quite appropriate. He had the chance to clear and kick. He opted out of that with a little step, and then he just tried an ambitious pass and contact, which the All Blacks managed to turn over.
Correct.
And created this situation and problem for Fiji. The first real error game plan-wise they've made in the match.
Yeah, he ran into Blackadder and Retallick, so that's a heck of a combination to try and get past after he made that initial step off his right foot, which was very effective, and they shut him down very quickly. So the All Blacks again will try the line-out drive. It was blunted last time by Fiji, but they did score in the end.
Taylor. Line out one by Brazil. Now Taylor gets the ball back, getting very close, Cody Taylor. And now Smith. And now Lala has a go. Fijian team offside though, and so another penalty coming.
4 offside.
As the All Blacks with the big men standing over the ball.
Still got the advantage.
Still playing under this penalty advantage as Smith slings it away for Bowden Barrett. Now Havili, David Havili. First time back in the All Blacks for 4 seasons, and he gets the try.
Excellent discipline. They went around the front of the line out, maybe recognised that that's where Vola defends. He was there, they went close. Playing under penalty advantage, Cody Taylor had a dig, so this is around the front of the line out. You can see there's Vola, steps in, makes the tackle. Cody Taylor does manage to shrug him off. They have a couple of digs, but then when the pivotal moment comes, Barrett's flat off the Aaron Smith pass, and then just the footwork, dazzling footwork of David Havili to go in right next to the post.
Yeah, 2 decoy runners as they went left there. They had George Bauer and Ethan Blackadder there. And they attracted a little bit of attention, which gave Havili just that little bit of space just to the left of them. So well executed, 2 line-outs, 2 tries. All Blacks be pleased with that set-piece side of things.
14 points to 6. And David Havili, his first start and his first test match ever in New Zealand. And here he is, finishing it off. Made his 2-17 debut in Buenos Aires. He's played in Cape Town and Brisbane. So a big thrill to be playing a test match on New Zealand soil. Volo with the restart, which Tuipulotu waits for. 2 tries to 0, 14 points to 6. Getting very close to the quarter mark in the game already. Aaron Smith slings it off to Barrett. Satutu, Geordie Barrett frees it up for Reese. Real one-on-one here, finding Geordie Barrett doubling round. Decides to keep it in play. And it comes off I think a All Black body. Yes, it does. And drops into touch.
Well, they have to be careful, Fiji. They got exploited here simply because they've got 3 players set back really deep, waiting for the All Blacks to kick from that long kick-off. And because of that, they're caught thin and they nearly got opened up there. They're going to have to rectify that quickly.
Matavasi throws. Line out one well. Now good charge here from Johnny Dyer. Just on the All Black side of halfway. And the All Blacks fancy their chances and they get the penalty.
The turnover was good, then you've gone off your feet. Yeah.
So it was a genuine turnover by Blackadder.
Wide off feet. Turnover good. Yeah.
Bowden Barrett sporting a couple of black eyes that he picked up at training. Compliments, I think, of Ethan Blackadder. So Taylor throws again. Tuipulotu wins again. Taylor immediately latching onto the back of the maul.
Down by Black.
Now they go down. So Smith frees it up for Havili. Has a go! And he's in again. David Havili, 2 in a couple of minutes.
Just raw power here from David Havili. The All Blacks again, what they're doing is they're soaking that energy, like I mentioned, out of Fiji, bringing them into the maul, so the backs are getting one-on-ones, and at the moment, Fiji aren't coping with the one-on-ones because there's a one-on-one tackle that's missed. Havili just bumps him with the hip, powers on through and goes in for a second.
Yeah, well, up until now, the defence has been not too bad and it's been quite structured. But there, Havili goes past a much, much bigger defender. I think it might have been Johnny Dyer, he slipped. But the All Blacks look well and truly organised in that attack because Havili had the option also to go left, and Bowden Barrett had looped round in behind him.
So 3 converted tries, 21-6. David Havili really making a big impact.
Yeah, well held.
Vola kicks off again. Oh, this time spilled forward by Tuipulotu. So an opportunity here for the Fijians. And they'll go back for the knock-on.
First by Black, then by White. No advantage, we'll go back to the first one.
Well, got their issues at kick-off, which they'll need to make sure that they get right quickly, the All Blacks. But this is an opportunity for Fiji. Good stable scrum last time they were in this zone of exactly the same situation. A drop from Tuipulotu from the kickoff.
Stay nice and straight for me.
He will be filthy about that and wanting to get it right. There's the reaction, and rightly so. He's better than that, and he will fix it quickly. However, it does create this opportunity for Fiji, and we're at 22 minutes into the game, as I mentioned, without Ndolu touching the ball yet. There he is, wide on the wing. But he is a big game, big match player that can really set this game alight, and he needs to get his hands on the ball quickly.
Interesting too, if you look at the All Blacks setup, they've got Sevu Reece defending infield, so it's not a one-on-one with Reece, it's a one-on-one with Geordie Barrett out here if it gets to that point.
Holding!
So quick ball for Kuravoli. Second 5, Botia, the skipper, as they set it again. Now it's with Tuisue, the number 8. Kuravoli sends it up. Good charge here from Ravi'i as they work it away towards this left-hand side. There's a player down
Bowden
here.
Barrett.
You're right.
he went in for the tackle, and he's either
more serious.
He's either bleeding from the face.
Well, listen, guys, we'll restart with the scrum
so.
white. I thought that was more serious. He might just want to get that checked out, so go time off. Yeah.
Powerful charge. I think it was the Lucid Ravai. Came hard onto the pass. Bowden Barrett stood up, and he just cops either the forearm or the hip. He cops a loose.
He got the boot.
A loose boot, and look at the decent-sized sprigs he's got on there as well.
I think he felt the first part of the tackle anyway, but the last part was the bit that did the damage there with the boot just colliding, totally accidental. So Damien McKenzie on straight away in jersey 22. It's a lively start. Bowden Barrett orchestrating things. As always, very much part of everything.
He's been involved, hasn't he, Smithy? Big time.
Overlook. Just keep time off.
So Bowden Barrett is off the field at the moment.
I need you to stay straight from there.
Don't get your wish here, fellas. Nandolo very, very handy to this scrum.
Well, if where he is, even if he just pokes his nose in on that right-hand side as we look at it, it's going to create two defenders to hold, because he is such a menace with ball in hand, which will then, if he gets missed, create space on the outside. But also there's option for him to come left one-on-one if he can get a good flat pass from a good platform. One-on-one with Sevu Reese to the left as we look at it.
Kuravoli gets it in. Scrum comes under a bit of pressure.
And down under pressure.
And so the front row has been penalised.
And down under pressure.
I think he's got to look at the outcome there, Paul Williams, which was the ball was just going at the time that he awarded that penalty. We don't want scrum penalties. If he was more looking at the result rather than the effect. Fiji had cleared it as the scrum went down. We could have just played on there. I think that's a bit pedantic.
Tutu reaches up, pulls it down for the All Blacks.
Loses it.
But lost it. So they lost it as Vola goes wide as he possibly can. Frees it up here for Saul. And a real chance here for the Fijians. Inside the 22 they go, and they free it quickly. Now it's with Dyer. Kuvuoli slings it away. Now the All Blacks find themselves offside. Retallick goes in after it. Can't get it. Kuruvoli right out in centre field. Options either way. And they go to big prop forward. Doing it. Still playing under this advantage. Some real opportunities out to the left if they want to shift it. Just setting it up nicely as Kuruvoli. Now the inside pass, beautifully done, and just short. Now the quick ball, can they get the quick ball? Diving for the line, very close. Still looking to free it up. Ball is there, Paul Williams can see it. And it's coming back slowly, and having a crack was doing it.
Advantage, 9 black offside.
Needs to come wide left.
Last feet.
Aaron Smith got himself offside. Can they convert this into a try?
Out of there, Black.
It's there.
Hands away.
Now they go wide. Ball transferred. Here is Nandolo. He gets the pass off, but it's gone wide. But they'll come back for the penalty anyway. A real chance there for the Fijians. They couldn't convert.
They had their moment, they really did. Initially it was to the left.
Offside.
Nandolo was waving his arms around, really wanted the ball. The forwards had a dig, however, and then when it came to the right, again, it was good defence from Satutu, who went forward, made the vital one-on-one on Ndolo. But boy, I tell you, that right winger, Ronnie Soul,
Two
good does he look?
Two fantastic inclusions into the back line there, which got great yardage and really did test the All Blacks. And there was some tackle And I think it was a combination of Cody Taylor and Aaron Smith who held up a Fijian tight forward, basically over the line. It's an amazing piece of defence. Here's the last opportunity. Just had to make the pass better there. Or even a little sooner, maybe.
So no attempted penalty as the Fijians are looking for the try. Matavasi to throw. All Blacks driving them back initially, but the ball is still there in the arms of Matavasi. This is very good from the Fijian pack. Now Tuisue to the line, and the Fijians are in.
Oh, magic Fiji. Absolutely superb though in this contest. They worked so very hard to get themselves into this position. Some scintillating rugby, but the All Blacks defence held bravely. And when it came to the vital moment, they made the decision to go for the line out. They worked the driving maul to perfection, so executed well. Moved it into the middle of the field, stayed patient, stayed resilient. And then at the pivotal moment, Albert Tuisue decides to have a dig himself. Too big and powerful for Havili and crashes over, well deserved.
Well, there's a massive influence in the coaching side of this Fijian side at the moment, and Jason Ryan in particular, Crusaders forwards coach, will be very, very pleased. There he is on the right. You can just see there, look, the emotion in that commentary box. In that coach's box, and some in the commentary box too. I heard you, Justin, get off your seat. But to be fair, that is just a beautifully executed set piece against an All Black side. And they do know. Tonga was last week. This is Fiji, and this is real Test rugby. Fantastic.
Man who made his name and continues to make his name with London Irish, Albert Tuisue, scores the first try against the All Blacks in 3 Test matches. Vola with the conversion and off the post. So 21-11 with 10 minutes till half-time.
Lifting versus there. Yep.
Damien McKenzie on the field for Beauden Barrett. Makes the kickoff. Ndolo immediately hands it off. Thumping run by Levin Botia. And the ball lost forward in contact. Vern Cotter has coached against the All Blacks before. 2-14 at Murrayfield when he was with Scotland. And they gave the All Blacks a big fright that day. Final score 24-16. Jason Ryan there on the right. And Daryl Gibson.
So, again, they don't quite get the exit right. Fiji, Levani, Botia lost the ball, so a massive opportunity now for the All Blacks to launch from a good scrum platform, good position. Certainly to me, it's on to the left as we look at it.
So it goes from Smith. The All Blacks looking to apply pressure. They're not getting a good deal out of this yet. As Smith sends it off to McKenzie, quickly to Havilis. McKenzie doubling around. Oh, boy, he got nailed big time. And the Fijians win the penalty.
Well, is he leading from the front, Botia, Justin? That is a huge, very well timed. And he just patched Damien McKenzie on the back to say, oh, you're right, little fella.
Well, it was a typical McKenzie run, wasn't it? The loop around off the pass from Havili. He's so dangerous when he goes lateral, but this was a missile in Levani Botia that spotted him, wanted to make amends for the mistake he made off the kickoff, and boy, oh boy, did he do that.
They call him the Demolition Man.
Do they really? I wonder why.
Yeah. Have a look at this for a tackle.
Here's the loop around, and then he just zeroes in. Boom, fuck. Catch you later, Damien McKenzie. Top draw stuff.
That's a boomfa.
That is my mate.
Hold in front, hold in front.
Vola
Stop.
bangs it off downfield. George Bridge, who's hardly been in the game so far. Geordie Barrett brings it outside the 22 and looks to find a bit of space and does so. Racing back after it is Kuravoli. And he gets rid of it pretty quickly. McKenzie stretches and takes it beautifully. Now, he'll take him on again. He's brave enough to. Here's Laulala, though, to the 10-metre line in Fiji territory.
That's another turnover.
And they've done it again. They've done it again, and again it's Johnny Dyer.
Off the top of my head, I think that's around about at least 4 clean ones, possibly 5 at the breakdown where the All Black cleaners are not effective on the ball carrier, and the Fijian Lucies in particular getting in over the ball. Tuisue, Kunavula and Dyer all working in tandem, getting in over the ball and causing problems for the All Blacks to get some rhythm into their game.
Yeah, that'll be number 1 on the agenda. Turnovers at breakdown time, I'm sure. We'll talk to John Plumtree after half-time. Beauden Barrett is back. Gee, he's looking worse for wear. Ethan Blackadder got him, but that was even a bigger hit. The boot
Just hold that space, eh?
of Ravai, it was. It's a loose head prop. And he's not looking pretty at all.
Holding. Black. Move.
6 or so out from half-time. Clean line-out win for the Fijians. Here he goes again. Botia straight ahead. Slung off the ground for Dyer. This time the All Blacks get in quickly as Kuravoli gets it away. Charging hard is Ravi'i. Ball is still there. Kuravoli. They don't mind having a run with the ball. In fact, they love it. And the offload as well, as Tuisue makes some ground. Now Vola hands it on for the skipper, Botia.
Oh, no. Yes, ball is out. Ball is out.
And
ball is out.
No halfback there, so Hoskins Satutu decides, I'll take it, thanks very much. Now Barrett stabs a little kick in behind, but it sits up nicely. Here's Ndolo. Chance to get a bit of speed up. Tries to shrug off George Bauer. And he'll set it up nicely right in the centre of halfway for Fiji as Vola hands it on. Pretty hard to put some of these big, strong, athletic players on the deck, as the All Blacks are finding. Now Kuravoli sweeps it away for Vola. Geordie Barrett under no pressure whatsoever.
Same again, guys.
And he just decides to bang it back from where it came.
Thank you.
Vola.
And again.
Surveys the options. Now he decides to have a run on his own, but a little bit isolated at the moment. And the All Blacks this time win a penalty, and I think it was Geordie Barrett.
You regathered nicely, but then you were holding on.
Who won the turnover and gained the penalty with just under 5 minutes until half-time. So Beauden Barrett looking to get it close to the corner flag, and he's done a very good job.
Well, this is repetition, Justin, isn't it? Exactly the same outcome as well. An All Black attacking line out from a Vola mistake.
Space, guys.
Yeah, sure is. That's where the game management needs to be better. Had no support. Kick was the best option. Didn't do that. Now this is the problem.
Taylor to throw. Goes to the back of the line now. Below to slim round for Shannon Frizzell, charging hard at the line. But looks like this might have been turned over. And the All Blacks, though, get a penalty.
There, and then you've come around offside. No, the tackle is here, then you're offside.
Well, the All Blacks very nearly butchered that.
The tackle was made.
A bit lucky to get away with it.
No, offside lines and a tackle, yeah. Scrum, guys. Yeah, it was very touch and go with that ball.
Ruling that Botia was the player in the wrong because he wasn't the tackler, but he came round from an offside position when he joined.
Just wondered whether or not it was a ruck. it was so quick. You know, like, geez, again, it's...
Looked like quite a late decision too.
Yeah, it did, and he doesn't agree, obviously. Like I said, you know, there's only the tackler and the ball carrier there, so technically that's not a ruck yet, and he was there quickly, so I feel that's a bit harsh. Anyway, what's it resulted in? And Aaron Smith, off the back of the penalty, has opted for the scrum. Plenty of width on that left-hand side as we look at it, with George Bridge tucked right hard on the wing.
Standing up, please, man.
Obviously the pivotal guy making the decisions in behind is Beauden Barrett. He'll sit quite deep in behind the scrum.
We still need to hold that balance, and we still need to have patience. So wait
from that area, you don't have to inject yourself as a first receiver. So from being quite deep, Beauden Barrett, he could go right in behind if we're going to the left, in behind Havili and Ioane, and get into that zone that Geordie Barrett's hovering in now to create that mismatch that they want on the left.
Attack him, boy. Go. Gotta go for it. Pull on me.
Crouch. Fine. Hold. Set. Hold.
Plenty of options here for the All Blacks. Firstly, they're going to march forward and get a penalty advantage. Smith waits, but Suzutu takes it instead, trying to shrug a few players off. Not able to do that, though. Now it's there for Smith, still playing into this penalty advantage as Retallick takes it up. Now Smith. Away it goes for Havili. Already 2 tries in the bank. Leonardo stretches back and pulls it in.
Still have the advantage.
Smith again.
Here's now.
Signals to the left and goes for Taylor. Smith there quickly. Now Retallick. Fiji in defence holding up nicely, but still playing under a penalty advantage. Taylor once more.
No, lost. No.
Ball is still there for Aaron Smith. Now it goes for Geordie Barrett and they lose control. But back we go for the penalty.
Well, 8 phases. 8 phases from the scrum they went, so that's a very, very long advantage. And as they had just about created something with Havili in space, they couldn't execute the All Blacks. Paul Williams felt that still
Scrum again, guys, black ball.
Warranted being under penalty advantage, so Fiji not off the hook yet.
Well, his scrum's just been a little bit creaky the last couple, hasn't it? So here's an opportunity for perhaps the All Blacks to make a big statement just before half-time. Suzutu off the back will be a major player here if they want to go that way. Just a couple of Fijians starting to feel the pressure of a fantastic first-half effort right towards the end.
Very interesting topic of conversation, this advantage, isn't it, Justin? It's almost as if you don't score a try, the penalty's got to be had.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think when you're going sort of up around 7 or 8 phases, that's plenty of time to have created something, or say to the referee, you want the penalty, we give up, the defence is too good. You know, at that stage, I think Paul Williams had taken the advantage to its maximum. And
it would be nice to know if there's a standard measure.
Yeah.
Or is it just interpretation by the individual referee? Is there a time frame? Is there a number of phases? Number of pairs of hands it goes through? Brodie Retallick on player cam, folks. First game back for 2 years. Keep an eye personally on the number 5. Had a busy first half, but I think, Justin, he realises he's not in Japan anymore.
Absolutely. He's in a contest, which Brodie Retallick, being the man that he is, loves rolling his sleeves up for. This is a physical test match. Fiji are really working hard at the breakdown, and it's only been in the last 5 minutes that the All Blacks have started to get on top, and that set piece we spoke about earlier. All of this obviously coming back to this position of the scrum was off the back of their scrum eventually folding in the first half, so now they really need to front. This front row in particular needs to get themselves set for the onslaught the All Blacks are likely to bring. They'll be going for pushover first and foremost.
Go, Joe! Lean in! Set!
Half-time almost with us. Suzutu detaches. Suzutu mowed down a couple of metres out. And the penalty won by Fiji. They have been superb at the breakdown tonight, and once again the man in the number 6 jersey, Johnny Dyer, has affected the turnover.
Oh, absolutely, Fiji.
We may get a chance.
And what I thought was coming, and very happy to concede that I was wrong. I thought the All Blacks would just put them under the pump at the scrum. Instead, Satutu bounced off the back, got himself slightly isolated, and like they've done all halves, the Lucies were all over him, affected the penalty, and they get out of jail.
So the ball is put into touch, and the first half has come to a close here in Dunedin, and it's been highly competitive. The All Blacks have scored 3 converted tries to 1, and they lead at the break by 21 points to 11. And the kick goes down as far as George Bridge, who was largely unemployed in the first half. Smith works it away for Retallick, shovels the pass off, but Laulala well and truly controlled in centre field, and the All Blacks win an early penalty as one of the Fijian players collapses over the ball.
Just slowing the ball down.
And Bo Barrett bangs it off, and they will go to the first line out of the second half on halfway.
On the line is yours.
Satutu wins the line out. Now Smith for Bowden Barrett. Flat for Ioane, who's well contained. Smith again sweeps it away. Not a great pass, and puts Bridge under a fair deal of pressure. But it's there again for Smith. Now Retallick.
Hands away!
Fijian defence has largely been very good so far as Smith prepares to lob this up into the air. Pushing it maybe just a little bit too far, and easily taken down by fullback Muri Valu. Now the Fijians busting through a tackle of Sevu Reece. Now Kuruvoli gets it off, and good offload, beautiful offload by Nakarawa, and a charging run by big Doinga. And now Fiji looking for quick ball just out from the 22 as Kuruvoli gets it off. All Blacks come quickly on Maruna Vanua. Right on the 22. Good start to the second half here by Fiji. Oh, Retallick, how did he do that? Went in to make the tackle, and a clear strip of the ball, and suddenly the All Blacks in possession. Now Taylor swings it off to Blackadder. Quick hands needed, and the ball has been knocked forward by Bowden Barrett, and a real chance out on the left.
Penalty.
And now there's some pushing and shoving.
8 was it? 8 was it?
We didn't hear the game plan the whole game. It's too loud.
So,
It's too loud.
was it just shoulder, was it?
We didn't
Okay,
hear.
no, listen. It doesn't matter if he heard the whistle or not. He's hit him late, and it's going to be a penalty here, okay, to the All Blacks. It's unnecessary.
You want to check on this?
I don't need to. I've got a real clear picture here for my... thank you.
okay, bro, it's okay.
We restart here with a penalty. Thank you, guys. It's going to be a penalty here. It was 8, wasn't it?
So it was off the
Yeah.
ball,
8 wide,
even though the whistle had already gone
unnecessary.
when the ball was knocked on. So let's have a look here.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Oh, guys, we got a sub.
Well, his hand involved there,
11
wasn't he?
white.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
It was late. Okay, Justin, here's a player we do know making his debut for Fiji tonight in jersey 23, Manasa Mataeli. And that is for Ndolo, who has been, like Bridge, largely unemployed tonight.
So Taylor to throw. Throws over the back. Nicely worked. Straight to Frizzell. Bridge ran off his shoulder nicely. Now Smith away for Satutu. Couldn't get through the initial tackle.
No, he's lost.
Fiji trying to turn it over.
No.
Can't do it though. And the All Blacks are going to win a penalty. So now Smith goes for Frizzell. Taylor. Here is a real chance. Barely away to Bridge. And George Bridge gets the opening try of the second half.
Just great pattern from the All Blacks. The peel off the line out was good. Satutu and Co got in over the advantage line. They then off slow ball, which was this ruck, had to produce something, and it was the loop around from Havili. Nice shift on from Cody Taylor, but it was the depth that Havili punched onto the ball that created the momentum in the space, and then at the right time he just shifts the pass on to George Bridge, who goes in untouched.
Yeah, Crusaders 1-2-3 on the end of that All Black movement. Let's go back to where it started for Fiji. They shake their heads because it was unnecessary. It was the infringement after the whistle which caused the problem for them and gave the All Blacks the advantage and the ball in Fiji territory. So good start to the second half. Fiji just have to regroup. They're doing that behind the post now and make sure that the All Blacks don't expand on this very, very quickly.
Yeah, there was the one at the start of the second half.
Still a long way to go to Andrew Mertens, and even further to Dan Carter. Looking much the worse for wear is Beauden Barrett as he prepares to try this conversion attempt.
Pretty clear, isn't it?
And he's away.
Yep.
So George Bridge.
It's your body position. I need to see you lifting the ball.
Scores the opening try of the second half, 26-11. In all previous matches, the All Blacks have never failed to score less than 60 against Fiji, but this is a real contest tonight. Vola. Pulotu tries to get a hand in, but the ball slapped back, and here's big number 8, Tuisue.
No! Use!
Now the blind side being used, and it's Punavula. Love the contact, going hard at the All Black defence. Now Vola goes flat. And standing out of midfield is locked forward Mayana Vanua.
Two black,
And they've got a penalty here, has Fiji.
Not my issue.
Trying to wrench it clear. Now the little stab through, but it doesn't work. And
Don't
it doesn't
be there in
really
the first
matter
place.
because
Roll.
the penalty is in centre field.
Well, again, the work they're doing, Fiji at the breakdown, but also in terms of their attack is good. The All Blacks line speed is very good, particularly on the outside, which is probably cutting off those opportunities for the wingers to find space. The only time that we've seen them in space was Aloni So in the first half, and that was from a big, wide, loopy pass. And that's because the All Black defenders are cutting off that outside. So they're going direct, they're going hard at the contact zone. And at the moment, you would have to say, at least parity, possibly winning the breakdowns, which is enabling them to stay in this game.
Matavasi throws, and a good move down the blind side. Matavasi almost there. Try scored. That is superb. Maya Navanua has scored for Fiji.
Oh, and how good is that to see? We didn't see a predictable line-out drive. We saw some innovation at the front of the line-out. Nice little interchange. Matavasi got the offload away, back onto the inside. Here they work it nicely. Punavula was at the front, doesn't panic, stays strong in the contact, back on the inside. Oh, that's absolutely fantastic to see. Fiji, yes, boy, you're here to play.
It's been fantastic, and you don't see Brodie Retallick miss tackles very often like that. Slipped quite easily there through Sevu Reece. Frizzell did well to hold him up, but they couldn't hold up the big man whose body position was very low. And what a great innovation, Justin, because you talked about the physicality and the fact they were happy to carry the ball at the All Blacks. I'm pretty sure that's where the All Blacks were expecting that attack, and they were caught out, there's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. And again, you know, that was off the back of a penalty. They could have possibly decided to bank 3, but all night they've come here to play and to play a style of rugby that the All Blacks are struggling to compete with at the moment. Yes, they're ahead on the scoreboard, but Fiji are giving as good as they're getting.
Don't forget, these two teams line up next week against each other in Hamilton. Here's the conversion attempt, and it's away. But it is a 10-point ball game at the moment.
Yep.
Both teams have scored unconverted tries in the second half.
1, 2, 3.
And it looks like they're going to the bench, Smithy.
Yeah, stand up, Gore. Here's your moment. Ethan de Groot in jersey number 17 for George Bauer. Tyrell Lomax running on in 18 as well. So that's for Laulala, and I don't think Dane Coles will be too far away either. So front row changes for the All Blacks.
In fact, he's there now.
Okay.
So a complete change in the front row.
Time back on.
And what a night for Ethan de Groot, 22 years of age. And he's in the All Black jersey. There's the kickoff. Wow. Just wasn't controlled by his own players, but Fiji have got it anyway. Throwing everything at this All Black pack. And the kick away downfield by Vola.
Okay, we're on.
And the All Blacks have gone quickly here. And here is Beauden Barrett. Quite a bit of space out wide as Vola gets across. No other option but to bang it into touch.
Here's the tape from the kickoff. Nakarawa goes up, and watch how he uses his hands as he comes down to stop himself, which pretty much saved him from landing on his head.
All Blacks win the line out through Satutu. Now Beauden Barrett away to Bridge. Held up in centre field, George Bridge. Smith waits, looks away to the right and finds Tui Palutu. Smith again swings it off the ground for Beauden Barrett. Looks to stab it through, can't do it though. Fiji back in control through Kuruvolu. Now Fiji need a new halfback. With a little man stuck in the middle there somewhere. So it's number 8, Tui Sue, who does the job. Carried on nicely by Ravai.
Use it! Hold.
Now Kuruvolu back in position. Sevu Reece. Bit of space here for the Fijian-born flyer. And off he goes, Sevu Reece. Can he link up? He can with Tui Palutu. He can't offload though. Now it's there with Tui Palutu. Now Satutu. Here's Ethan Blackadder. Brought down a 3 metre short. Now Retallick as the All Blacks look to reply quickly here. Fijians have turned it over. No, they haven't. He's playing advantage as the All Blacks win a penalty. Now the cross kick. And this one's been brought under control. And they'll go back.
Time off. 7, was it? Yeah, you can do the HIA, but I'll just, while we've got time off. Lavani.
Just looking for Punavula.
It's 15, is it, mate?
He was looking for 7.
Right. So I gave a real clear warning down here about players off feet not supporting their body weight, not showing their lifting position. We've got a clear attacking move. We're down here and the same thing happened. So it's going to be 15 white, it's going to be yellow carded, okay? 15.
So that's a Murimuru Valu. It's going to spend 10 minutes in the bin. They're making 15. A change in the front row too, Fiji.
Where's
Kenny
15,
Ravi'i makes way
clearly
for
off the
Hairati
clearly
Hatat in jersey 17.
Yeah, sure.
Well, it was an absolutely block-busting break from Sevu Reece. Grease lightning as he skinned the Fijian defenders on counter-attack. Got it away to Tui Palutu, who got tackled but bounced back to his feet. So it was desperation in this corner from Fiji that stopped the All Blacks, A, from scoring, but then B, from getting quick ball to be able to put them away. Good? So a cynical penalty has resulted in Murimuru Valu going to the bin.
Just give them the chance to
get a head assessment too, an HIA on Kuruvolu, the halfback. What a great run this from Sevu Reece.
Hold!
So the All Blacks have thrown quickly, and Dane Coles latching on at the back here as they look to convert this into points. Cole still hangs on, It's a question of timing. And they keep going straight ahead, and Cole scores. Another test try for Dane Coles.
Excellent work at the back of that maul from Dane Coles. They got it moving forward right from the instant that it came down. So off the break from Sevu Reece that led to the penalty, it enabled the All Blacks to then, through Aaron Smith, captain for tonight, opt for the line out. The take from Tuipulotu is good. As you can see, it moves early. Ethan de Groot in the back, shifts at the Coles. He recognises that it's not on to the left. They get better substance when they start to go to the right. And from there, he just keeps control until the pivotal moment when he decides to burst through and bang it down.
Yeah, good strong set pieces. Both sides have been not too bad at that tonight. So we won't be seeing Kurivoli back. His replacement is Setariki Tuithuvo, and that's in jersey 21. Utility player covering a number of positions on at halfback.
Barrett's conversion attempt is away to the right.
Yep, thanks, Rosa.
So 2 tries to 1 in the second half, as Dane Coles scores try number 14.
Another giant of a man, Lisbo, coming on, and jersey 20 is Pateli Yato in jersey 20, and that is for Kunavula.
Thanks, mate.
Vola with the restart. Goes short this time. And up go the All Blacks again. A good contest. Frizzell it was, who got up highest.
Holding Black!
Now Bowden Barrett. Vola has dropped back.
White!
Does the right thing and gets rid of it quickly. Again, Bowden Barrett. This time off to Geordie, and his kick straight down to Ironi Sa'u, who has impressed in this game. Big contest there as he runs into Frizzell.
Holding now.
Water's there, and it needs doing it. The tight head prop to free it up. Nice turnover by Coles. Won it beautifully. Now here is de Groot getting his first real chance with the ball in hand. Aaron Smith's gone to ground here, and he's very slow to get up. As Bridge slings it away for Havili. Now Satutu. Ioane. Ball drops down and Reece has it. And now Sevu Reece is really coming into his own. And he gets a pass off, and that's been intercepted too by Hattett. Smith seems okay. He's back. In fact, he's got the ball. Little stab through by Havili. Ball sits up for Vola. And he puts it into touch. I think he was standing outside the 22. All Blacks have gone quickly anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now Bowden Barrett. Here is Ioane away for Bridge. Hit head on by Sa'u. And that stopped that movement stone dead. Smith getting quickly. Now goes to Bowden Barrett as the game really starting to open up. Tyrell Lomax with the ball in hand. The Fijians over the top of it, trying to turn it over, and they win the penalty, as they've done so many times tonight.
Certainly have. They've been the better team in that department.
Keep playing it on the ground.
One more turnovers. Again, the All Black cleaner's not good enough on the ball carrier. And Fiji have been very good in that zone. The game's starting to open up a bit, as you mentioned. All Blacks looking to attack from all parts.
You're the same sort of thing. I pass the ball 3 seconds later.
Okay.
I get like.
So you're telling me
Touch of experience about to join the fray from an All Black point of view, fellow by the name of Sam Whitelock.
Well, that was the first instance. Yep. And then we had the other one, but I hear what you're saying. Yep.
About to line up in test number 1, 2, 4. Sam Whitelock.
We'll do it now, guys.
So the penalty taken by Ben Vola. And Whitelock is on. And
Tuipulotu.
Yep. So it's the old combination of Retallick and Whitelock.
Holding space, guys.
short line out from Fiji.
Nicely taken down.
Advantage.
And they've got a penalty advantage here. The All Blacks played the man in the air.
Was he in the side as well? Was in the side as well. Okay. So first one was in the air, but hey, mate, that one's no good either. Side entry by 17.
Is that an option for the cover because you tackle him here?
You had
the man in there?
yeah, so you've got that one, but it's pretty much in the same spot, isn't it?
Oh, it's dangerous.
No, that's just a penalty, and the other one's
so
just a penalty as well. So what are you doing?
Levani Botia is asking just whether or not that was a yellow card for being taken in the air. He obviously wants some form of justice and wants to even the numbers up.
Well, yes, exactly. You can see that Fiji has still got 3.5 minutes with a man in the bin.
Yeah, certainly wasn't warranting a yellow card. What they were trying to work is that short line out, and they had Tuisue out in the back line. I think they'll probably go for a more conventional setup this close. Remember they peeled around the front last time? What have they got up their sleeves this time?
Well, practicing their line-outs in the car park at the hotel this afternoon. It's working well.
Over.
Here comes, here's a charge by hooker. Matavasi. Very good chance again here, the Fijians. They're inside the 5-metre line. Nakarawa gets his hands on the ball. And the All Blacks forced to defend desperately here. Off it goes for Hatton. Now here is Dyer.
Hands up!
Another charge at the line. He's already got one so far, Tuisue.
Advantage!
They've got another advantage here. So this advantage should go for a long time. Big physical run there by Yato, but he can't get through.
Easy, guys, easy.
And it's going to be another penalty. Sam Whitelock picks himself off the ground. Boy, I tell you what, the All Blacks know they've been to the races.
3 times over the hell at Ellerslie, I reckon.
I reckon.
Not over yet.
Tyrell Lomax probably needs a stitch or two in the eyelid. Won't happen right now, though.
No, their line-out's working really effectively. Matavasi has got his line-out throwing very accurate.
Taken down by Nakarawa.
Over the 15.
Here they go again. This looks good. This looks really good. Can they go all the way? No, the All Blacks have got a hand in there. Penalty try to Fiji.
And you should see the reaction from Captain Levani Botia. He was absolutely pumped, and rightly so. Again, like I said, they've been very fluid in their line-out structure. David Havili's also been put in the bin, so it's a double blow for the All Blacks. He's been binned. Fiji score, penalty try, automatic 7. They get well set. They had more numbers. They had 9 in the line-out, so they had plenty of momentum and weight. Watch number 12, Havili, goes in illegally, which stops the peel, which is where they're going. Paul Williams penalises them. Oh, Smithy, Fiji, how good are they tonight?
Oh, they've just been fantastic. And he drags down the big new player in Yato. Giant man, but he absolutely got it right, Paul Williams. He did stop it dead by bringing that man down illegally, so absolutely no doubt. Again, Jason Ryan celebrates another set piece that's gone really well for them. And Aaron Smith, this time he has 14 men for the next 9.5 minutes. Fiji about to go back to 15, and another change with Leroy Atalifo is on for Donga.
So 14 against 14 for the moment anyway, as Barrett gets us going again in a thrilling international here in Dunedin. There's only 8 points between the two teams. And Fiji are going to have 9.5 minutes with a one-man advantage very shortly.
Use it!
Tui Thubu gets it back. And Volovolo puts it really high. Geordie Barrett gives it off to Bowden Barrett. Now Bridge. And George Bridge takes it into Fijian territory. Now Smith swings it off to Geordie Barrett. Now Bowden Barrett. Ioane threw a forward pass to Blackadder, but not picked up.
Certainly was forward.
Now Smith gives it off to Whitelock.
Advantage.
And they get a penalty. Oh, that's...
You have the advantage.
The rugby gods not smiling at that point. Now if it goes to Satutu.
That was forward as well.
Back to the penalty.
Why not the first forward pass, Paul Williams?
Yeah, they've got to get that right because that'll heavily penalise Fiji. Not the All Blacks' fault by any means, but the officials just letting Fiji down.
Well, that pressure came from really good pressure from the All Blacks on the clearance from Vola, and he has been under pressure tonight. That's one of the good areas from the All Black game, putting the number 10, who's the kingpin of their kicking game, under a lot of pressure, and he was not able to get it where he wanted. Consequently, the All Blacks able to counter-attack.
What I quite liked about that kick, however, even though it did cause them a little bit of problems, so here's this forward pass out of the hands as well. Blackadder in front of him, was the fact that at least he put some height in it, which gave the Fijians the ability to get up in time and in sync to form more of a defensive line against the counter-attack of the All Blacks.
Back to 15, Fiji.
All Black line out for Dane Coles with 17 minutes left in the game. Trapped in the back by Satutu. Now Coles has it as the All Blacks continue to make progress. They've got an advantage here too as the maul is dragged down. Now Smith off to Retallick. Looks like he's going to play the 80 minutes. The ball has been lost. And back to the penalty we go. High penalty count in this game. 23 given so far.
Collapsing.
They are looking ominous though, the All Blacks, from line out, especially with Dane Coles slotting in there at the back with all his experience and his patience. If they can get the ball in his hands and with a little bit of momentum on, they are very hard and dangerous to stop in this zone.
Coles throws quickly, won by Whitelock. Again, the All Blacks set it up. Coles will join the party, and there he is. At the moment, it's with Lomax, I think it is, as they go towards the line, and the try is scored. And Dane Coles again.
He's just recognising that right-hand shift from the maul. Fiji are correlating all their defence right at the base, so they get there and stop it here. But when an appeal happens, none of the players, Fijian defensive players, adjust. So when it starts shifting right, you can see all the majority of the Fijian players are on the left in bulk. Coles recognises it, shifts it to the right, as he did before, and there's no resistance.
No, as good as his defence has been tonight, the skipper Buttier cannot stop Dane Coles with that momentum from the All Blacks. It's been their go-to play, and it's had a very, very high ratio of success.
Barrett adds the extras, and it's 38 points to 23 with 15 minutes left here.
Will Jordan on in 23 for the All Blacks, and that is for George Bridge.
Have you got too many? Okay, he comes in. Yep.
Well, can he continue this remarkable start to his career? Let's see in the next 15 minutes or so as the kickoff is made. Good contest. Sam Whitelock, excellent. Takes it cleanly. Now Smith swings it off to Bowden Barrett. High spiralling punt. Awkward, very awkward. Plenty of time though for Muri Valu. Although his kick is not going to make a good deal of ground or a great deal of ground.
He didn't miss that, Bowden Barrett. Again, went for the big high spiral bomb. And Muri Vulu Had no idea how to combat it.
Black. Yeah, I'm on the mark here.
Massive territory game for the All Blacks. More changes for the All Blacks, Smithy, by the look at it.
And jersey 20, that's Luke Jacobson, and that's for Hoskins Sututu. Just shows the value of controlling a restart. Sam Whitelock, a giant in that one for the All Blacks.
Keep an eye out for the peel here with Blackadder in the halfback position. This is usually when they can work something off the tail. A little bounce out from him.
Coles throws. Oh, Whitelock, at least Retallick struggled to get it back. He doesn't look too good on his feet, Brady Retallick. He's going to join the fray, but very tentatively. Here's Coles up the middle, looking to line up Smith. Got it away to Aaron Smith, spinning beautifully. Now he needs to set it up. And they need a halfback in there somewhere, but they don't need him anyway because it's a penalty again to Fiji and again at the breakdown.
I'm not convinced that that was a clear release from Fiji that time. I certainly think that Muri Valu was in over the ball and had all rights to it, but the reason that he was able to do that was because either the tackler didn't roll away or a release. It was a nice break from Dane Coles. I think he probably just needed to back himself. He was always looking for Aaron Smith. When he didn't give it to him early, I think he then just had to probably try and get a pass away in contact. Here's the, and that's real untidy for Brody Retallick. Head clash, friendly fire. You can see there he wasn't quite sure where Smith was. Does really well in the contact zone there, Aaron Smith.
Black hole.
There was the skipper, first man over the ball, Batia.
I think he was okay, wasn't he?
Yep, he was okay. He's in control.
Aaron Smith night is done. Test captain tonight, he's been replaced by Finley Christie.
Can you come please, White? Hold there, Black.
Made a big impact. Finley Christie last week. Now here's Coles slinging the pass away for Jacobson. Now Barrett. Ioane cut down again. Good tackle midfield. But Navi levels.
Not supporting body weight.
Now Whitelock takes it in. Christie. Here's Coles. Bouncing out of one tackle. Christie again. Away it goes forward to Groot. And the newcomer sets it for Christie. McKenzie. Now Retallick. Taken in the tackle. And going back to a previous penalty.
I know.
Finley Christie running smack into a Fijian player.
Don't milk that. We're over here. Not supporting body weight.
So the problem for Fiji here is if they do start giving penalties away at the breakdown, which Paul Williams has got, I think it was the winger, Sa'u, for not supporting his body weight. What Beauden Barrett will do, will kick it into that sort of 10 to 15 metre zone, and they'll set up the maul again, which Fiji are not dealing with at the moment.
No, and who's going to bet against Dane Coles a hat-trick here?
Well, it's a little bit further out this time. I think Fiji have to recognise that they're not coping with it, so they need to get it on the ground, sack it.
Coles throws. Won very quickly by Whitelock. Blackadder got a pass away. Ioane in very close. Now Christie slings it away for Blackadder, running hard straight at the post. Now the low pass. Barrett slings it away, and guess who? Of course it's Will Jordan.
Why not Will Jordan? Again, from that structure, the All Blacks with either their maul or when they get into their pattern, Fiji just don't have any ability to combat it defensively. This time it was the peel, so Blackadder peeled away, then he became the second runner. Third rucker's super quick lightning ball. Beauden Barrett flat with a defender on him, makes an excellent decision, left to right pass, rips it out there, and why not, as we said, Will Jordan.
A great line run by Ethan Blackadder to set that up. But we just get so used to the silky skills of Beauden Barrett. That was not an easy pass to catch. And then the distribution, the vision and the distribution to get rid of it so quickly. The All Black number 10 showing his wares tonight. We're so lucky to have so many good ones.
Okay, yeah.
That was real skill.
He's been through the ringer tonight.
Yeah.
from the sideline, and he can't convert this one. So the All Blacks lead by 20 on the back of try number 8 in Test rugby for Will Jordan.
A debut for Fiji. Very special night for Penny Narasia. Debut in 16. Congratulations.
Plays for Brive in France. Volo. Waiting is Mackenzie. Waves everybody else off and hands it back for Havili, who is back on the park.
Ball's there.
Christie reaches in. Bowden Barrett. Here's Jacobson in midfield. Now Ioane injecting some pace. Quick hands. Here's Jordan free again on the right. Taken down 5 out from the 22. Ball loose. Christie snaps it up. Beautiful hands by Bowden Barrett. De Groot looking to offload. Instead takes it to ground. It's there again for Christie. Now the All Blacks starting to really play some rugby as Mackenzie slings a couple of players out of the road. Waiting for Christie. And they're getting a penalty here. Are the All Blacks? The 27th penalty in the game. And no more, says Paul Williams.
Again, and the issue for Fiji is exactly what Bowden Barrett's done to them. He's got it right inside the 5 to be able to set up the line out. Excellent counter-attack from the All Blacks. Nice slick hands out wide. Ioane and co. Will Jordan gets cut down.
Just hold here, guys.
Coles throws.
Hold!
Here they go again. Could this be a hat-trick for Dane Coles? That is the question. The answer will be with us in 5 seconds from now. Coles holds it. Coles holds it. Coles scores! Hat-trick for Dane Coles.
Well, there's absolutely nothing razzle-dazzle about the way the All Blacks are playing the second half. They are simply off the back of penalties, kicking it deep, and then launching either from maul or off the tail in appeal, which we saw previously. This time they decide to go back to the maul. That's been so lucrative for Dane Coles. Again, his judgment, his timing, and the way that he stays composed at the back is unparalleled. And when he gets the moment to pounce, he nails it every time.
Yeah, Retallick pulled himself in the line out on that occasion. He stayed central to it, and great mate Sam Whitelock was alongside him, dragging that line out towards the Fijian line. Just a little influence of Whitelock's made a bit of a difference in the last 10-15 minutes, Justin, you feel. Good to see the old combo back together.
Hasn't had a great night with the boot, Bowden Barrett, but he nails this one, and it's good enough to bring up 50 points for the All Blacks on the back of 3 tries in the second half by Dane Coles. Mine goes back to Ian Kirkpatrick scoring a hat-trick as a replacement all those years ago.
Enrico Bully Roloa on in jersey 22 for Fiji.
So the kickoff taken down. Oh, Whitelock has been superb. Links up with Blackadder. Oh, what a tackle coming from the back and spilling the ball.
Knock on, 7 still
what
playing
a great tackle from Tui Duvu.
Knock on, 7 playing on the ground.
Just nailed Blackadder, and another penalty ensues.
Again, though, the experience of Sam Whitelock taking control of the kickoffs has been a bit of a problem until he got onto the field tonight for the All Blacks. Plucked it out of the air, broke away, found Ethan Blackadder on his inside. There he goes, big Sam Whitelock, I should say, finds some space back on the inside, and then catch you later. Ethan Blackadder, he gets hit hard by Tui Thuvu.
And you come, White. And you come,
Narasia to throw for Fiji. Never scored 23 points against the All Blacks before in a test match. And the ball deflected by Retallick. Barrett gets it hard and maybe a little late. Now it's starting to open up here. Away goes Rieko Ioane. Legs up with Christie. He's got support. Didn't see it though from Beauden Barrett. Now he pops it up for Jacobson. One of the Fijians is sprawled on the ground and out of play. And no, he didn't do it, did he? He did, you know. Dane Coles dots it down for number 4, but it's been given. Well,
I think we're all a bit bemused at what has happened there from that breakdown. The breakout was quite spectacular. Beauden Barrett, nice flat pass, very good shift from Blackadder, as well as Havili recognised where the space was, puts the hammer down. Rieko Ioane, Vola chases hard and gets Christie, and from this breakdown here, Jacobson goes into contact. Fiji ripped the ball free, and somehow it's dislodged, and Dane Coles pounces on it, and he's got 4.
Yeah, it's Naya Talevu, who's the player who's been instrumental in ripping it away for the Fijians, but unfortunately, there was no Fijian cover where the ball went to, and Coles has just been a poacher tonight.
Barrett bangs it through. With just under 4 minutes to go, Dane Coles. Boy, there'll be celebrations at Kilbirnie Park, the Poniki Club in Wellington.
Will there what? And in the commentary booth.
What's that? Okay, thanks, Ross.
Well, the All Blacks still have time
40.
to put 60 on. 60 is the least they've ever scored against Fiji. And the ball has been knocked on by Fiji.
Scrum Black.
Well, it's a big complete shutout in the last 20 minutes by the All Blacks. They had real good momentum, Fiji, off the back of a couple of tries, got themselves back into the game, 8 points behind. And then off the back of a couple of penalties, and then some very good discipline and game management from the All Blacks, recognising where their strength was inside the 22. And now off the back of that, when they've finally worn Fiji down through working them hard at line-out time, mauls, they're starting to unleash from deep and open them up on counter-attack as they get more and more fatigued, Fiji.
Well, record-breaking night then for Dane Coles. First time an All Black forward has ever scored 4 tries in a test match. As Christie fires it off to Mackenzie, drops a little one in, but just a little bit too hard for Will Jordan.
That's why I go back as far as Cornelson. Didn't he get 4 against the All Blacks?
He did. Yes, he did.
That's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago. Back in the 70s.
Yeah, it's been a while. No. Yeah, come down, guys. Yeah, stay.
Have the rugby statisticians scratching around now. As a player, a hooker and a replacement hooker ever scored 4 tries in the history of the game. Fiji, they'll keep going to the end of this. Boy, if they're competitive here tonight, how competitive will they be in Hamilton in 7 days' time? It's been a titanic effort. Many of these players have been stuck in isolation and some of them only coming out on Wednesday. This has been a remarkable performance.
Oh, it certainly has. And as we mentioned very early in the broadcast, there are a lot of people that are going through a difficult time in Fiji, including these fans that are here, that'll be incredibly proud of the effort that this Fijian team have put in under difficult circumstances.
Man of the moment, Coles throws in, and he throws it nicely to Havili, who has been most impressive in his first New Zealand Test match. And another penalty.
First one, he was okay. Holding on first.
Well, we've got the even 30 penalties now.
Johnny Dyer winning that one as well. How good he been?
Well, they've had some real standouts, haven't they? Captain Levani Motia, Saul's been excellent. Ndolo didn't really get into the game, but the loose forward trio of Tuisue and Dyer Kunavula early in the match have all been excellent. Very, very good tonight, Fiji, and they will be more dangerous next week. They will learn a lot from this game, and they will grow.
So there goes the siren. Now Rasia to throw to the line out, and Fiji win it. Taken in by Nakarawa. Looking to finish this with a flourish. Made such a huge contribution to this game for sure.
Easy, 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 easy.
Looking to get the offloads in. So good at it. Now spinning away downfield goes Tuiduvu. Now Volovolo flings it wide. Nicely hauled in by Bully Ruarua.
Holding. No, ball still there.
Now the flat pass. All Blacks having to make some big tackles late in the game. Vola drops a little kick in behind. And the Fijians win it. As Damien McKenzie couldn't bring it under control. Looking to offload was Nakarawa. Now he gets it across to his captain, who has been fantastic tonight. And here's a clean bust. Still going, just losing his footing was Yato. Now charging onto it goes fullback Muri Balu. Players strewn all over the field here. Fiji looking to finish on a high note. They're all getting in close. Still 7 or 8 metres to go. All Blacks having to play the 80 right out in this one. Good defence on Yato. But the ball is still there.
Okay, both sides hold. Let's use it now.
5 metres away. Very slow.
Use it, man.
Looking to score their 4th try of the match. And the ball falls loose and it's been snapped up. And the All Blacks, I think, will be happy to bang
That's
this away
okay.
to touch. Or hang on.
There was a knock on there, and that's full time.
Oh, righto. No, that's the end of it. Referee blows the whistle. The players are absolutely exhausted, and why not? It's been some test match. They'll do it again in 7 days' time. But for now, here in Dunedin, the All Blacks have beaten Fiji 57-23. And Ben Vola gets the test match underway. Straight down to Sevu Reece, who returns serve, and that's a mighty punt by Sevu Reece. From inside his 22, no time for the quick throw, and a great start.
That's a belter from Sevu Reece. It was a kick deep from Fiji, but he was returned of serve big time, where the Fijian line-out, which was very good last week, will come under early scrutiny from the All Blacks. No doubt they'll be competing. It is a shortened line-out from Fiji.
So Matavasi to throw. And grabbing it was Yato, who didn't play last week. And Fiji, who were so physical last week. But Xavier in there, and also Ioane. And a little dab.
Advantage.
by Frank Lamani, and we didn't see him last week either. All Blacks already big on the tackle. 6 and 7 to the 4.
High tackle.
But a high tackle called, and so the first penalty of the test match goes the way of Fiji.
Well, that had a bit of balance to the game as well. Frank Lamani out of the Reds, I should say out of the Rebels. He's educated at St Bede's College. He is a very good runner with the ball, and when he gets to drift the field like that, he can bring runners onto him, but he also threatened the gap. I think it was Bauer came in across it, just caught him high, so the early chance for them to get some pattern off their line out.
Yes, the little dabs around the rucks and the mauls are a hallmark of Frank Lamani. So Samueli Matavasi to throw once again. Stretching over was Mayo Navanua as Fiji get a break in midfield. Vili Rorua gets support out wide. Ball bouncing for Ndolo. Just knocked down by McKenzie, and into touch they go. But a big breach in midfield by the Fijians.
Classic set piece, organisation from the line out. The inside runner caught the All Blacks, who had come up hard on the midfield out. It was really well worked. You can see there just a mini break. Vili Rorua is the man to make the break. He goes for the long pass to Ndolo. He does manage to get brought down by Jordan, and then the hand in from McKenzie just to shut it down. He had inside runners in support.
The All Blacks might just argue there was a player in front there that might have just perhaps stopped Havili in particular having a crack at that runner. However, we're at this point.
Matavasi throws. Ball won easily. Here's Yato, the big number 8. 5 metres away. Lamani gets there quickly. All Blacks under pressure already in this game, as the Fijians settle it right out in front of the goalpost. Offside against the All Blacks. Taken in by Doinga, the tight head prop. Now Dyer lays it back. Now the wide pass. McKenzie has to make the tackle. Ball back in field, and it's gone loose, but they'll go back to the penalty, which is right in midfield.
One again. One black.
And this is an electric start by the Fijians.
Oh, you called it, Nisbo. Any doubts in your mind that last week was a bit of a fluke? Has been wiped completely off the radar after 3.5 minutes. A scintillating line break, then a very good line-out execution. Off the back, Yato, the big man, went hard at the line. It was only because the All Blacks came up offside and quick. I thought Mo'unga was up really quick earlier in the piece to cut down the second phase, that they are able to absorb the pressure, but they will take the 3 Fiji.
Well, the fans are electrified by this, and I think that's All Black fans as well. Vern Cotty and I spoke to him before the game, the Fijian head coach. He said he was a little bit worried about whether they could bring that intensity again, particularly early in the week. He said it took them a while to come down after Dunedin, but as they inched closer towards tonight's kickoff, he kind of sensed they might be able to bring it again. Well, he was right. They have.
In the 5th minute of the game, and Ben Volavola with the chance to put Fiji in front, and he does. And Fiji lead by 3 points to 0.
One area that they really struggled with last week was their exit. Volavola didn't quite get all his options right. Can they, and have they worked on that during the week to get that part of their game right? If they can get out of their own half better, man, they're going to be dangerous tonight.
Richie Mo'unga with the restart. Getting up quickly there and disputing it was Will Jordan, but he did knock it forward. So playing under an advantage here for the moment. Another good strong charge, but there was no advantage there, so back we go for the scrum.
Well, this will be interesting for me, Justin, whether the All Blacks can make a statement at scrum time. Fiji, particularly early in the match, were quite stable, but they tended to get just a little weaker, and that became a bit of an issue for the man on the right, really, Jason Ryan, who's the scrum coach. So they will have had to work on this, knowing this is a pivotal point.
Well, for all we spoke about last week about the size of Fiji, mostly that size is in the backs, because the All Black forward pack was a bigger pack last week, and you're right, they did hold their own initially, Fiji, but later in the game, when fatigue set in, The All Blacks got on top. Expect them to be better this stage of the game. Fiji, that is.
Bind! Set!
Couple of changes have changed the big pack weights this week, haven't they? So now Fiji at 903 total weight is statistically heavier than that All Black pack this week.
Can you bind up for me?
Yes, well, what hasn't changed, the makeup of the respective front rows. So they're butting heads on this loose head side. Teddy Ravai against Nepo Lalala.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Right, so Lamani gets it in. Off the back goes Yato. Takes it as far as the 22. Lamani looking to clear quickly. Does so for Ndolo. And his kick won't go into touch. And McKenzie, 5 metres on his own side of halfway. Damien McKenzie slings it wide for Havili, who gets tipped up 5 metres in Fijian territory. Smith rifles it away for Whitelock. And the Fijian side offside. Yep. So now Smith away for Savia. As the All Blacks look to really get themselves into the game here, but
boys, no advantage, wide
nothing
offside.
happening there. So back for the offside penalty against Fiji.
5 white, offside. 5 white.
Now, another pivotal part in the match. We all knew, and we just had to look at the score sheet to know that Dane Coles was prevalent in this, but the All Blacks line out was very, very successful on attack. And here's an early opportunity.
Awesome point, Smithy. Absolutely right. In the balance of last week's game, the All Blacks would have worked all week on breakdown. Fiji would have worked all week on shutting down the driving maul.
So Cody Taylor with the first throw for him tonight. And it's slightly overthrown. And the ball's being grabbed here by the captain, Nakarawa. So the All Blacks' first line out goes astray. Now Volavola driving it away from McKenzie, but he's quick enough to get there. Damien McKenzie outside his 22, so he can't look at the touchline. Well, he has looked at the touchline unsuccessfully, and they have to go all the way back. So a points victory there for the Fijians.
And that point victory started at the line-out source because they competed. Because they competed, they got up. It disrupted the throw and the jumpers from the All Blacks. It wasn't a mandatory stay down and try to defend the maul. They competed, got the turnover. Volavola's accuracy with the kick. Yes, McKenzie got on the full, but it got him into that 5 metre channel. Very good. Well done. Got out of their half. Excellent.
So Matavasi has hit his target a couple of times already tonight. Does so again through Nakarawa, and they put a drive on the All Blacks. Now Matavasi gets it, and he gets support too as they drive on. There are 2 games going on here, and it looks like the All Blacks might turn this over. They have.
2 through the middle.
Some of the players getting a little disoriented and going without the ball, and so a turnover.
It was Cody Taylor that read that. When the supporting Fiji's players came from depth for that maul, they hit the wrong zone. They hit to the left of the ball, which created a splinter maul where the ball wasn't. The ball carrier was to the right. Cody Taylor just stayed where he was. The ball carrier got exposed. Taylor brought him to ground.
Luke Jacobson on the back of the scrum tonight. Another player who's had to fight back from injuries. Somewhat similar to Leonard Brown and Savia. So first All Black scrum fed by Smith. Jacobson detaches off to Moonga, who keeps it nice and low, and it'll skid off the damp surface, and a good kick from Richie Moonga.
Actually holding those kicks on it. Got to hold on those kicks to get put onside.
cross the line set here, I can't have you creeping. Okay?
Matavasi. And this time Scott Barrett gets a hand in, so the All Blacks won one against the throw. Aaron Smith gets ragdolled, but he'll be up and ready to fire the pass again, which he does to Moanga. Quickly away for McKenzie. Great tackle on him by Nayathibu. It's in there somewhere.
The ball's up, it's fine.
The ball is up. So the All Blacks somehow have got to free this. And Fiji, who were tremendous at the breakdown last week, have done it again. They've turned it over.
Well, it was a steal from the All Blacks, a midfield set, and then they got McKenzie into space, but centre Nayathibu came up really quickly on McKenzie, cut him down. McKenzie has some excellent micro lightning-like skills. If he released that ball before he got back to his feet, I'll just about go he. And probably Fiji deserved a penalty because he did bounce back to his feet after being tackled to the ground. But man, that was good defence. Here's the line-out steal from Barrett.
Yeah, clean steal, got in front of his opponent. But you're right here, look, he is clearly tackled, and at never at any stage did he release the ball. And still, when it developed into this situation, he's still holding on to it.
Up, here.
So Matavasi throws again. This time Fiji win their own throw. Lamani away for Vola Vola. A big charge in midfield from Billy Rura. And these big, powerful ball runners taking on the All Black defence.
You're in front, playing the ball in front.
But conceding a penalty right in midfield. Quickly taken by Moanga. And so it will be an All Black throw to the line-out, just in Fiji territory. Taylor throws. Stretching over was Barrett, winning it clearly. Here is Havili in midfield. Outstanding, could have been stolen, no. He wasn't coming from behind the hindmost.
Hands.
This time he was sneaking in the side, Johnny Dyer, and he's been picked up by the referee.
This will be an interesting decision to me. Well, it's happened already. So right out in front, completely kickable three for the All Blacks. Last week were very persistent at turning down threes, going for more, and they were successful off that, which was the line-out drive. Same tactics, will they get the same results this evening?
Let's see whether Fiji put a player up. There's Taylor. Yes, they do put some players up. Dragged down by Whitelock. Now Savia. Away for Havili. Finding space. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful pass. And Sevu Reece, born in Fiji, scores against his home nation.
That was slick from the All Blacks. It wasn't only the line-out ball they scored from last week. They also, off either first, second or third phase, through their execution scored. This was first phase genius. Came down to Savia. Nice take from Whitelock. He bounces out. The miss pass to Havili. Good right foot step. Dyer came up too quick. And then Havili, with that presence of mind and space that he has, just a little flick out the back. Sevu Reece goes in.
Yeah, just another piece of evidence to me of just what a quality player Sevu Reece is and how often he is where the ball is. I mean, he reads the situation so brilliant. We see so often for the Crusaders, and outside his Crusaders mate, Havili, he was so good. Timing was great, and another Crusader with a conversion, Lisbo.
Yep, Richie Moanga converts the try. Took the All Blacks 15 minutes. Sevu Reece played a lot of rugby in this ground. Started off with Waikato. Vola Vola. Nice kickoff. Ball comes loose, and Fiji have it again through Dyer, launching himself 5 out from the 22. Now Lamani works it away. All Blacks offside. So,
Kerry Ioane, I think.
Come on, you got advantage still.
here's hooker Matavasi.
Boys can't play away. 6 black offside.
Yes, it was
6 black.
Akira Ioane offside. So let's see what Fiji do here. And they go to look at the goalposts.
Let's just go back to this All Blacks try and show you the presence that David Havili has. As we pause it here when he gets the ball, you can see the inside runner is Sevu Reece. Now he's going to go on his outside shoulder. As he rolled it on now, the step from Havili. Reece maintains his line, outside Dyer, and then the pop. Oh, beautiful stuff.
Man from the top of the South Island, which reminds us, Justin, just how tough they're doing it on the west coast of the South Island, the top of the South Island. So our thoughts go out to all of you good people too.
Absolutely. Over 700 people evacuated from their homes last night. Hopefully you found a warm spot and Sky TV to tune into this game, having a well-deserved respite from the bad weather, and you are being entertained and will be all evening. Enjoy.
Ben Walla Walla drills it and puts it down the middle for a second penalty goal, and it's 7-6 the All Blacks lead. Mo'unga again gets it up nice and high. Namali Ndolo. Oh, that's good, solid defence, led by George Bauer, and the ball suddenly shoots free.
Kick the ball. We can't go through and kick the ball.
It was kicked through the ruck by an All Black player, which is not allowed.
Step back.
Tell you what, it was well taken by Ndolo, who's a big unit, and so's Bully Ruarua, the 12, but he run straight into 2 front rowers who are not small men by any means, and Bauer and Laulalo, who completely poleaxed them, but he's bounced back to his feet. Fair play.
Wow, that is solid contact.
That guy would have been a bit of a right foot step and hitting it. Havili, he's a mean tackler, but avoid the 2 front rowers together.
Matavasi to throw. Fiji dragged down. No, he lost it, I think. And the ball lost forward.
Outstanding skills there from Scott Barrett. Just how hard it is to keep your hands off the opponent, in other words, committing an offence when you're jumping, and still retain that was brilliant work.
Yep, that's a fair contest, all right. Both teams up contesting opposition throws. Nearly the first 20 minutes gone in this game. It's tight. It's 7-6.
I like for the All Blacks here with Jordan lurking in behind Mo'unga. The space just outside Naiathalevu, the centre. That space there you can see, that disjoint, that's the area to attack with McKenzie hitting that zone as well.
Bind! Set!
So in from Smith. Jordan coming to the right. Smith's got plenty of time and he puts the kick in. Nicely weighted kick. He would have preferred to keep it in the field, but nevertheless, it's taken play down to within 10 metres of the Fijian goal line.
Stay there, Black, hold! White, bring it up.
Milestone game coming up next for Smith as the long throw is made. Taylor read it pretty well, but it was Dyer who was there. Now Lamani. And back for Ndolo. He's got this thumping left boot. He had plenty of time to run that too. Now Taylor throws quickly. Another Fijian hand in there. Well, that's a lovely sidestep. Now Vola. They spin it out wide, looking to stretch the All Blacks here. And trying to go through the tackle was Naya the level. Here is Lamani. Just near the 22. Again, the All Black defence front on. A lot stronger tonight as Lamani from inside the 22. Mackenzie waits, bearing down on him. And he managed to bounce back. Boy, he's got plenty of heart, Damien Mackenzie. It's on the All Black side, and they win the penalty. Oh, he's turned his mind. He's changed his mind.
He was facing the wrong way, I think. But I tell you, that was a very good exit. The compete at the line-out again from Fiji. It's so fluid, the All Black line-out, and for them to disrupt that, turn the ball over, and then Waisia Naithalevu had a go at centre. Good tackle out there on him, but again, the experience of Frank Lamane to kick and kick well. Mackenzie didn't have a lot of time. He had about 2 or 3 players lining it up. They needed all of his skills to avoid all of them, but they did get the advantage of a penalty off this particular breakdown.
You see Scott Barrett going in there and getting ahead of the ball, and then he was warned. He was warned at the time.
Another turnover at line-out time, and then a straight drop by Artie Salvia, but they'll go back for the knock-on at the line-out by Fiji.
He's lucky. Salvia is lucky there because it's been adjudged that All Blacks lost forward.
Well, we've got the opportunity now to go sideline to assistant coach for Fiji, Glenn Jackson. Jacko, good start for you guys. What have you made of this first 22 minutes?
Yeah, thanks, Marshy. No, it's a great start. We obviously had to bring the physicality like last week. All Blacks brought a pretty big pack to this, so the boys at the moment are fronting up, and it's just awesome playing in front of such a big crowd.
Now, in your mind, where's the areas that you want to attack this All Black side? You're good at the breakdown last week, but you have to bring more because the All Blacks sort of smartened up there.
Yeah, we've got to be a little bit smart about how we attack it. Obviously, giving away penalty in the middle of the field there, that's not the place to attack. We knew the All Blacks would look after their breakdown a lot better. They have, so we've just got to be a little bit smart when we had a really good one out here in the wide channel, and that's the place we've got to go.
In terms of defending against the All Blacks, just that one lapse in defence, they're pretty slick from their line-out and were last week with either driving ball or their line-out attack.
Yeah, look, we know they're not going to take too many shots, are they? So they're going for the corner, so we have to front up there. Again, such a good start to allow that try in is a little bit disappointing, but geez, the boys are here to play. Massive crowd, obviously awesome with the stuff going on in Fiji at the moment to have everyone here and supporting them.
Thanks for your time, Jacko. Good to see you doing the mahi down there on the sideline. You're usually up in the warm commentary box.
One another, brother, one another.
Good on you, mate.
Glenn Jackson, part of the coaching staff of Fiji, along with Vern Cotter, Daryl Gibson and Jason Ryan, as the All Blacks look to put some pressure on at scrum time, and they've done that. Ball pops out for Reese, and he's well and truly looked after. There won't be any advantage here. So
not pushing straight.
They'll take the penalty with the Fijians not pushing straight.
Will be a number 25 shortly for Fiji. It will be Johnny Dyer. The number 6 jersey is just about falling apart. A little pressure there, just an early sign. 25th minute. All Black technically dominant at scrum time, earning another penalty.
So it's been a mixed review for the All Black line-out so far tonight. A couple have been turned over. Fijians happy to put players up on the opposing throw. So Taylor, to get this right, he does so. Finds Ioane. Now the All Blacks look to drive. Savia has the ball. Not going far here. You'll have to release it. Gives it off to Smith. Avili gets it away for Leonard Brown. It's there again for Aaron Smith. Swings it away for Whitelock. 5 out from the 22, and again it's Dyer over the ball.
Can't play, mate. Wide offside.
But hasn't got it right. Well, he has got it right. In fact, it was offside. So the turnover would have been good, but Fiji 13, offside in midfield.
He's a big man, is Johnny Dyer, and he's got long levers and he uses them really well. Gets himself nice and and wide in his spread, so he's got good strong stance, and then he's got, like I said, big long levers to get right across that ruck at maximum strength while maintaining his body weight.
Taylor throws again, and this time not straight. Well, no real excuse, Smithy. No wind to speak of.
No. Conditions are absolutely fine, Nisbo. They dry the ball before the throw. That's straight on Cody Taylor, that one. So it's just not gelling at the moment. There is pressure in there. I noticed that on the other one where they got the drive going, Nakarawa, the captain was able to get through the middle of that drive and put his hands on the ball, which meant the All Blacks had to exit a little quicker than they wanted. So they've done their homework on it all right, but the All Blacks are helping them too.
Well, the excuse is the pressure. You ask any hooker or leader that calls the lineouts, when an opposition are putting you under pressure in your areas, it forces you to be so lethally accurate because you get a slight bit wrong and you'll turn it over. That's causing the problems.
Lamani. Quickly off the back goes Yato. And Fiji look to create a decent angle for the clearing kick, and they do. And Ndolo is able to bang it outside the 22.
That's a good exit, really, using the kick. He wasn't happy with the kick, but it still made good ground. Bully Ruarua, the 12, Enrico Bully Ruarua made that charge off the first phase.
This time a clean line-out win by Ioane. Right to centre field. Jordan bounces away from one tackle. And again, Dyer's in there. Well, he's not quite getting it right tonight, but he's involved in everything.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks, Rob. I'm going to take a shot.
And that's a win for Fiji. Sam Whitelock says, we'll take the 3, thanks. Well, we hope to.
Well, that's a massive win. I mean, that's just straight out in the corner, line out try last week. So Sam Whitelock said enough is enough here. Got there, but he didn't. He just wasn't able to support his own weight by the look. That's what they call it. Geez, marginal, isn't it?
It's marginal.
Man, I was looking for a reason why, but I've found it pretty hard.
You could argue that he was supporting himself predominantly by his forearms, but they were under the ball. He was pretty quick on it.
So Mo'unga kicks a penalty goal for the All Blacks, and they have a 4-point margin after 29 minutes. Looks like the jersey change has been made, so Dyer now in jersey 25 as the kickoff is nicely taken down by Scott Barrett. Smith away for Mo'unga. Bangs it away. Oh, look, that's just a straight drop. He had all sorts of plans, except forgot to catch the ball.
Kini Murivalo, not like him, all of his experience, and he didn't even take his eye off the ball. It's probably a little greasy, but it's not an inexcusable mistake, but it's not an ideal one. 33 test matches might not seem like a lot, but it is for some of the lower tier nations that don't get a lot of test matches in calendar years. So he is quite experienced. He has made an error. It's now up to his teammates to make up for that. The All Blacks will no doubt be looking to launch Mo'unga in a really interesting position here on a short blind side to the left.
Now he comes back to the right as Smith waits. Jacobson holding in the back. Now the All Blacks pack gets some momentum. Blindside he goes. Here is Mo'unga. Reese for the corner. And Sevi Reese gets his second.
When you're going backwards, it's never easy. And it really cost Fiji here because the scrum was going backwards. It meant that defensively they made some poor decisions. Frank Lomani cannot go in on Aaron Smith. He has to leave him to the loose forwards. The minute that he goes in on Aaron Smith, which he did turn in, it left Mo'unga 3, and it was just a simple catch and pass for him to Sevu Reece to go in. He has to leave Aaron Smith to the loosies. He doesn't. That's the defensive error. Man, they pay for Muri Valu's mistake.
Well, that's just a very good set piece. When Nismo highlighted the fact that it looked like Mo'unga was going to drift across to the right. Well, very quickly, he went back left again. But the timing of it was the essence, really. It just left Fiji at 6s and 7s, literally. They were ineffective, and it gave the easy overlap. So Mo'unga worked that really, really well off that scrum. And Reece, as always, will be on the score sheet.
Yeah, just to clarify what I'm meaning with that. So if Lomani pushes out onto Mo'unga and just leaves Aaron Smith to run, he's got to hope that his blindside or even his number 8 cleans up Aaron Smith, and that way they don't get exposed in that 2-on-1 area. You've got to trust, but not easy when your scrum's going backwards.
Mo'unga's kick is very good from the sideline. 17 points to 6. Well, Fiji has gifted the All Blacks some fine wingers over the years. Joali Vinderi, Sidavini, Sivivatu, Joe Rokothoko spring to mind. Sevu Reece, born in Nandi and coming to New Zealand in 2014, scores 2 tries tonight. Vola Vola, another kickoff. And this time it bounces away. And looking to see where the line-out throw goes.
Option. Scrum.
I think it was a knock-on from Scott Barrett at the retake there. He's the player. Again, pressure around him. It went through his arms, but it was a judge that he had lost it marginally forward.
Yeah, technically didn't, did he? It went through his hands, but went behind him. You have to say, yeah, harsh on the All Blacks, but again, that's because of pressure.
Line out win by Kunavula. Good tackle by Mo'unga. All Blacks are definitely short up their defence.
Stay back, boys.
Nice little shift there by Pateli Yato, the number 8 forward. Here's Ndolo. Hard man to put away, but Leonard Brown makes a good tackle.
Ball's out, play on.
It was a play-on situation, so Aaron Smith got his timing right. Good effort here by Matavasi to stay on his feet. Now Lomani away for Jonge. And
extra roll, man over the ball.
Penalised at the breakdown.
5 over the ball,
Well, you have to commend that defence. One thing that was really noticeable in it from an All Black perspective in terms of what they're looking at is when they saw good numbers from Fiji at the breakdown, they didn't commit players or bodies to the ground, so lots of players on their feet, all coming up. No fracture at all in their line. Fiji, big, hard ball runners, but when they're faced with not a lot of momentum onto the ball because of the line speed of the All Blacks, they can't get really any quick ball over the advantage line.
Taylor's throw, won by Whitelock, and the All Blacks put a drive on.
Out now, James, out.
Held in the back by Taylor.
Stay.
Now Smith wants it.
Don't change it, stay.
He gets it. Away it goes for Havili at first receiver. Mo'unga clever enough to get out of the tackle. Still on his feet. Now McKenzie away for Reece. Looking to link up, does so with Leonard Brown. As the All Blacks march inside the 22, now Smith away for Barrett. Gives the pass off to Whitelock. Playing under a penalty advantage once more. As Smith and
Wide offside.
they'll take the penalty.
Time off.
And now
Captain.
Damon Murphy wants to have a chat.
There'll be an offside warning.
So we're down here twice now.
Yeah.
Too many penalties.
Yeah.
Have a chat to them.
Yeah.
Change your behaviour or someone goes to the bin.
A couple of them been dire, but the majority of them been offside up too quick, so he is going to talk to his team. Nakarawa. I tell you what, though, sometimes Richie Mo'unga and his footwork, it looks like he's out playing in the backyard. The number that he did on Bully Ruarua, quick tap from Mo'unga.
And then he didn't quite know what to do. Anyway, they're still in a good attacking position. Away for Savia. Gets a good drive on here. Savia getting pretty close. And having a dab at the line over the top was, I think, Ioane. Now Smith slings it away. And here's another one. It's a hat trick for Sevu Reece. And that one was a gift.
Yeah, well, look, I'm not entirely sure how that transpired, and someone that knows the laws better than me, but obviously we saw Nakarawa was having a good chat to his team. He had brought them all in together, and the minute that he stopped talking to them, Richie Mo'unga took the quick tap, so they didn't have a chance to spread back out and get organised. I guess if that's within the law book, it is. That put them under massive pressure. The pass wasn't great, but it was the numbers that cost Fiji. They were all congregated in an area where they couldn't get any width back into their defence. Did it go forward? Doesn't look like it out of their hands. Sevu Reece in for his third.
Well, the news is even worse because someone has gone under the bin, though, and it is the skipper himself. He was the one that was adjudged to be infringing on that occasion, so whilst they conceded the try, referee said, look, I gave you a warning. I actually gave you the warning, sir. And he showed him the yellow card very, very quickly.
Yeah, I'm just kind of get what I'm saying, Smithy, that the whole Fiji team, we saw them in a circle, had been gathered by their captain.
Yeah.
And then the minute that they stopped talking, then Richie Mo'unga just tapped it. So Fiji had no chance to reorganise themselves into a defensive system to cover a quick tap. I guess it's good from Mo'unga to recognise it.
Well, it could not. He normally would not do that, would he? I mean, he sees that completely on what you've just read. Hat trick for Sevu Reece. That's his first. And Dane Cole's 4 last week is under threat.
This time away to the left from Richie Mo'unga. So a hat trick for Sevu Reece. Got a wee way to go. Jeff Wilson got 5 against Fiji back in 1997. The only Nakarawa sits on the chair. Just a spectator this week, Dane Coles. 90 seconds or so remaining until half-time. Vola gets us going. Reece, the man of the moment. Hands it off, and Avili takes it up. Smith looking to lob a kick downfield. And this time, Muri Valu took it nicely. And they'll show him the touchline. And up goes the flag on the far side. Reece thought about going quickly. Good strong tackle by Akira Ioane. As Whitelock makes the clean take.
Stay out off the leg, out.
Taylor controlling it in the back. Fiji, of course, have a man missing. And this is good stuff from the Fijians. Now, can this be released or not?
Leave. The ball's there. Stay. The ball's there.
They don't have to leave that. It's a collapse more.
How long can you hold it? So Smith turns and makes the little kick. Oh, it stayed in the field of play. And now it's into touch. Well, that was bizarre.
Yeah, it was.
One last chance in the first half for the All Blacks. They've scored 3 tries. As Taylor prepares to throw. Whitelock, now Savia. Taylor goes across for Havili. Again, the Fijians over it, but this time they do have to release. Jacobson, no, in fact it's Ioane carries it on. Now Smith, flat across for George Bauer. Now Savia! Artie Savia, in test number 50, scores a try.
Well, they've really rolled their sleeves up in the last 15 minutes, the All Blacks. Their scrum started to flex its muscles, and they're more importantly the line out. They've gone off the back of some much tidier line-out ball that wasn't happening in the 20 minutes, bouncing out, getting in behind this Fijian defence, which is weakened by a player. Artie Savia, Akira Ioane, Bauer, all just carrying hard and straight and powerful. And it's Savia that charges over. He's so hard to stop that close to the line.
No, you're not going to stop him. His leg drive is just too powerful. It's going to burst through any tackler there. So Mo'unga will kick this, and they'll go into the break Nisbo with a 23-point lead on the back of a very strong last quarter.
Yes, indeed they will, Smithy. 4 tries, and the All Blacks lead at half-time here in Hamilton by 29 points to 6. Richie Mo'unga with the long kickoff down as far as, Nandolo dropped it cold. Oh, he'll be disappointed in a couple of basic errors made.
Oh, he'll be devastated because at half-time, Nemane Nandolo had plenty to say. You can see him there in the headgear. He's really laying down the law. He's passionate. He loves Fiji and he loves this Fijian team, and he knows how important it is for them to perform. So making that early error certainly won't impress his teammates, but he's the type of individual that'll get up and make a difference on defence. Let's see if he can do that.
Still just under 5 minutes for Nakarawa in the sin bin. A big chance early on here for the All Blacks. As Smith feeds, clears it quickly, straight away for Havili, who gets through a couple of tackles, gets them on the front foot. Now Smith goes wide again, and Will Jordan, it wouldn't seem right if he didn't get a try, and he gets his first tonight.
Muri Valu made a mistake that cost them directly from scrum. This time it was Nandolo, and they have paid the ultimate price. The footwork of David Havili, he's big and strong, and it took a good tackle from Lamani to bring him down. From that ensuing ruck, it was so quick and he was so good over the advantage line that the transfer from Smith, Mo'unga, and then on to Jordan made it look simplistic, but the line from Jordan coming from right was very good.
Yeah, Tui Thuvu was the player that went in field to make the tackle and wasn't able to affect it. Overcommitted.
Converted by Mo'unga, and it blows out to 36-6 on the back of another try, his 9th in Test rugby, in just his 5th game for Will Jordan.
So Johnny Dyer's gone, jersey 25 won't be out there anymore. Albert Tuasue is on, jersey 19. Jordan's gone.
He grabbed at his hamstring, Smithy, after he scored that try. I think that's the problem.
So Rika Ioane will come on to the left wing here, and Sevi Reese to the right.
Kickoff is made. Barrett chases it across and pulls it in.
Side entry.
And
Side entry,
immediately a penalty against
Side entry.
the All Blacks. It might have been
Side entry,
Havili
you're fine.
coming in on the angle. So the All Blacks concede a penalty. Jason Ryan talked about penalties in the first half. His team conceded 8.
Let's go, boys. Let's go, please.
So Rieko Ioane. In a while since he played on the wing for the All Blacks. But of course, nowadays a vastly experienced player. 37th Test match for him.
Stay there, lads. Yeah, I'll try and bring him to you.
Yoni Nakarawa.
Let's go, White.
Still got a couple of minutes to go. So Matavasi. Need a good line out. They've got that all right. So they put a bit of pressure on the All Blacks.
Out.
Matavasi still holding it, and they're looking pretty good at this stage. One or two All Blacks going to ground, which will stop it. But here's a chance! Ravai, the loosehead prop scores for Fiji.
Oh, the loosehead, Tini Ravai. And that has got the Fijian fans in the stands on their feet, waving their flags for Fiji. The line-out execution was perfect. Remember, they're a man down. They got it bang on. The line-out drive looked like it was going to go to ground, but then the loose head bounced out of nowhere. You can see they're well set. As it peels around here, it gets to the back. It looked like hooker Matavasi had his hands on it. However, somewhere in there, the loose head Ravahi gets it, and over he goes.
Yeah, that was well driven, wasn't it? And they did drive it. They drove it in two different directions before they came back right again. It was beautifully executed, because each time they did that, they splintered the All Black defence. As you say, with a man down, and now without Johnny Dyer, who's been so effective as a ball carrier for them in those situations. Well done, Fiji.
Might be a bit early, but Nakarara is back.
Take it if you can, mate. Just get out there.
My word.
Yes.
Ben Volavola with the conversion, and that is good. So both sides have scored converted tries to start the second half. 36-13. Against 15 as the kickoff. Oh, on the full.
Well, that was timing. Did he catch it and step out, or was he out?
Yes, he did.
Wow, there's not much in that.
I tell you what, replays have proved me wrong before, Smithy, but I felt like he did. Catch.
Yeah, he didn't have the foot down, did he? Yeah.
And the ball's across the plane.
And Sam Whitelock wants to tell the referee all about it.
Doesn't matter. The ball's
I don't think there's any captain challenges anymore, Sam.
No, there's not.
Yeah. Boys, the ball's across the plane. Here's your mark.
But really, the AR on the far side should have got that right.
Okay, sweet. All right. Sorry, boys. The line out back here.
Hello. They've had a rethink.
Well, that's got to have come from upstairs, surely.
Yeah, and look, I'm not sure that this is the way that we want our game to transpire. The All Blacks have all looked at it on the big screen and had a whinge to the ref, so the TMO's had a look at it. Look, Fiji could have done that earlier on for the maul that got collapsed and said, hey, look, it's a collapsed maul. That's not fair, but they didn't. So we've got to get this right.
I'm going to stand up for the AR and say Nadolo was in front of him. Didn't get a view of it.
Right, here's Savia making a way for Havili. Held up by Volavola. But another good, strong charge by David Havili. Now Smith goes short.
No, off the ball, Lee!
And there's a turnover. But
Boys, leave.
not having the same luck at the turnovers tonight, the Fijians.
On your feet, off your feet.
This time it might have been
Must stay on your
Kuna
feet.
Vula
Mark's
who
over
was
here.
over the ball.
Scrum. Black ball.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry, just to reinforce that point, it's not having a whinge at how they've officiated this. It's just in general for our game. We don't want players looking at the big screen all the time and then telling referees they've made mistakes. At the end of the day, there's going to be the odd call or thing that goes against you, and you just get on with it. And that was a case, I think, where it was a wrong call, but there's been plenty of wrong calls in this game, like the one where Fiji didn't get a chance to spread from the quick tap of Mwanga, the collapse line out more, where they didn't look at the big screen and have a whinge. So let's get the balance right.
Yep, completely endorse.
Set.
So now Smith. All Blacks have got options all over the show here. The first one is to try and shove Fiji back a bit.
Boys, straight up.
But the front rows come up, so they'll have to do it all over again.
Straight across field, boys.
Third test match at this ground for Fiji.
Here's your
They
mark.
beat Argentina here during the
Remember,
World
we're
Cup
gonna
of
stay square, push to
'87.
the mark, you're gonna be rewarded.
And they lost
There's
to
your mark.
Wales here in the 2011 World Cup.
And if they do manage to, the backside, get the ball clear from this ruck, I really like the option of that 8-9 right with Mo'unga and the width of Ioane.
Jacobson holds again. He goes, Jacobson, and releases Mo'unga, and Rieko Ioane, only recently on the field, picks up another test try, and the All Blacks score again.
Very good, and it's so much easier when your scrum's going forward because the Fijian loosies are vulnerable. They have to hang on, otherwise they're going to concede a pushover. Aaron Smith just is the inside runner. Really good from Jacobson. He brings in the number 8, Petheli Yato, and from there, the good transfer from Mo'unga. He always makes good decisions. Smithy sets Ioane free.
Well, when he came onto the field, Rieko Ioane started on the left wing, the other side. And that was a deliberate swap there. Put man on man. Nadolo was not able to get wide enough, quick enough. They sensed that, the All Blacks, and it was fairly basically completed in the end. And he'll be happy to be on the score sheet. 2 changes in the front row for the All Blacks. Ethan de Groot in jersey 17, Angus Ta'avao in 18. So 2 front row changes in the propping area.
He's got a high strike rate, has Rieko Ioane. 28 test tries now in just his 37th test match. In recent times, of course, been used in the midfield. Four conversions and a penalty so far tonight for Richie Mo'unga. And add another conversion to the tally. And it's 43-13, 10 minutes into the second half. So the kickoff. Down as far as Havili, and he returns it down towards halfway. So the All Blacks replacing 2 props. Laulala and Bauer gone. Replaced by Angus Ta'avao and Ethan de Groot.
Let's go, White, simple line. Hey. Black across. Black across for me. Thank you. There you go.
Matavasi, 5 metres in All Black territory. Again, the All Blacks up disputing, but Fiji get it. Out into midfield for Kunavula. The All Blacks have been physical in the tackle tonight. Lamani swings it wide. But Nakarara was under almost.
Yeah, the All Blacks are offside.
Yeah. So Volovolo is going to stab a kick away downfield. This bounces into touch. It'll be pretty good. It is pretty good. And Damon Murphy has to make a call. And he decides there's no advantage. So he goes back for the penalty.
It was Akira Ioane again who jumped the gun, Smithy, was it?
Yeah, he's been on the line most of the night, to be fair.
Offside, no advantage.
Can't blame him for that. Line speed's been pretty good from the All Blacks when Fiji have had rare opportunities with ball in hand.
It's been very good. And why wouldn't you want to bring line speed? Because as Jace Ryan said in his halftime interview, we feel when we can get good physical carries, we can win that contest. So you don't want those players to get any momentum onto the ball, get up in their face. As soon as they catch it, you're chopping them down. I think they've done that well tonight.
Yeah, I'll bring them in. Let's go, White, bring it in. White, bring it in.
Matavasi goes deep. Nice throw, but no, it's not knocked on, so they can carry on. It looks like the All Blacks might have stolen this. They have. So it's going to be there for the group to play halfback. Now Jacobson. Now the All Blacks swing it away. Leonard Brown, McKenzie. Lovely little stab, but it bounces the wrong way.
Leave it.
For Reese.
Well, he wasn't named in this 23 initially. Dane Coles pulled out, but we've had word that this fella here on screen, Samasoni Tokiaho, will be making his All Black debut very shortly. Jersey comes off, bib comes off, and he'll be joined by Retallick too.
Oh, that's slightly overthrown, and Taylor's able to get the pass off. So Ioane takes it forward. Now Moanga, flat pass for Havili. What a head on David Havili. Oh.
Time off. Yeah, bring one.
Well, they're looking to play flat. The All Blacks. Moanga carries. And Havili, you could see, he was already looking up. He did well to catch it because you could see those two defenders sweating on him. Nayatalevu from the outside, didn't quite catch who it was from the inside, but they're playing under advantage anyway. Well, this is the moment for Nemani Ndolo to leave the field, but we have to pay tribute to Samasoni Taukei'aho, All Black number 1198 on a test debut, and man, he's had some sort of season. Lisbo thoroughly deserves this opportunity.
Absolutely does. Huge night for him.
And straight into the business end of the attacking scrum. Mata Ali is on 23 for Ndolo for Fiji.
So a complete change in the front row for the All Blacks, with Tokiaho now in there. Into some pools here in Hamilton.
Touch closer too. Bind up for me.
Born in Tonga.
Feet underneath you.
So wonderful moment for him. Arrived in New Zealand, could barely speak English.
That's a great story.
It is.
And again, you know, great tribute to Ian Foster and his coaching team to pick players on form and, of course, with talent for the future.
So in it goes from Aaron Smith. Again, the All Blacks putting some pressure through the middle, and they're going to win themselves a penalty if they need it. Here's the short pass. Leonard Brown bounces out of one. Now Moanga spies a gap. Brilliant play. Has it? Yes, he has got support. Ball goes back. There's still a chance it's live for the All Blacks. Now they probably lose it forward. And they do.
Boys, knock on.
Angus Taubau, I bet his eyes lit up and thought, hello.
I tell you though, the razzle-dazzle of Richie Moanga's footwork. He gets it here, watch this little stutter, right foot, bang, accelerate, see you later. Aaron Smith got pushed over. Jacobson went to offload to Taubau and it hit a Fijian player, so it's still live. Then he got his hand and his foot and everything else to it, Taubau, and couldn't quite control it.
Yeah, it was an interesting little line that Aaron Smith ran, actually. It made Tefeli Yato ineffective as a possible tackler. Not saying he would have got to those lightning quick steps of Moanga anyway.
Yeah, he was. He did push him and push him over as a support player, so technically that shouldn't have happened.
Fiji scrum holding up nicely. Imani gets it away for Vola and has gone off the side of the boot. So he's lost a bit of distance there.
Just check out Aaron Smith's line that he runs. You can see him. Just watch him on the inside there. Number 9, he spots the opportunity and then he is pushed over by Yato. Twice.
Big line out throw goes as far as Havili. He gets nailed, but he's still good enough to get the pass away. Referee said advantage. So not sure who for, but obviously it's against Fiji as the group makes a good run to the 22. Now Smith away for Taubau. Now Moanga. McKenzie lined up. Can't keep him down for long. Hand in there.
Oh, and not a good hand either.
No.
There was a player in space outside. Muri Valu, I think it was. And he just intentionally put out a hand to stop that pass.
There's no line
Did he
break.
just have a little curve in the hand as opposed to patting it down? We'll have to wait and see.
He stuck it out, though, when there's a player unmarked outside him.
I just wonder whether it's just a little curve in the hand, as if to say, just try here. Oh, did he try to catch it on the look, I don't know.
Well,
anyway, Beauden Barrett,
maybe.
how lucky are the All Blacks? Beauden Barrett now for Richie Mo'unga. Quality for quality. Good night for Mo'unga, Justin.
Yes, yep, absolutely. Try assist, couple of line breaks, and tactically controlled things really well.
Retallick wins the line out. Tokiaho now. Can he keep this going and maybe flop over the line a la Dane Coles did last week? Tokiaho still hanging on, still driving, and goes to the line, and he's got one. Samasoni Tokiaho.
Cody Taylor likes it, but Samasoni Tokiaho will like it even more. And what is pleasing as well is for all that raw talent on Test debut was the composure that he showed at the back of that All Black maul, that all-powerful All Black maul, because he had a lot of work to do. The foundation was set, but then as it goes on and transpires, Fijians got themselves illegal and in the way, which really completely caused it to be dysfunctional. But because he was that lead player at the back with his hands on the ball, he stayed patient and controlled it beautifully till the time to pounce, and he got it bang on.
Yeah, terrific impact from the bench there. Retallick very prone. It was his line out take, and then he went back to Fiji. He sort of orchestrated the start of that drive. De Groot was very strong at the end of it. They'll be pleased to see those numbers figuring there straight off the bench. Speaking of which, Fiji have made 2 changes from off the bench. Ronnie Maui in jersey 17, Leroy Atalefo in 18 in the front row, and that's for Ravai and Donga.
Here's Barrett then, first kick of the night, and he puts it off to the left. So 48-13, and just over a quarter of the game remaining, and a big moment. It's all happened quickly for Samasoni Tokiaho. Vola kicks off. Reese takes it. 3 tries in the first half for Sevu Reese. Now Retallick as the All Blacks take it just out from the 22. Barrett onto his left boot. Or should eventually sit up for Muri Valu.
White out, retreat.
Now it's up for contesting. Oh, it's hit him on the chest. Same man who kicked it. And Fiji have to reset on their own 10-metre line. Lamani looking for ball runners. Again, it's there for Lamani to feed it up to Tui Sue, who scored a try last week. Started off the bench tonight. Lamani.
Now.
Barrett waiting. No real pressure from Barrett, but they were waiting on pounced. He took a pounding last week. Here goes Smith, blindside Reese. And it comes off a Fijian foot and into touch.
Aaron Smith wore one then too, just after he passed it, which he didn't enjoy.
Stay there, White.
Line out throw this time for Tokiaho, and he links up nicely with Chiefs teammate Luke Jacobson. Good run by Reese. Now Smith swings it away. Bealey trying to make ground in midfield as the All Blacks stay the same way. McKenzie trying to get over the ball. The Fijians, but here's Ioane. Rico, that is. Ball is there for Aaron Smith. Placed by Jacobson. Barrett hands it on to Whitelock. Whoa, big hit after the ball was passed. And it was Anton Leonard-Brown who bore the brunt of it. Volo.
McKenzie.
I don't know whether he's got the pace. McKenzie. And McKenzie cuts him down.
Damien McKenzie.
Blacks win the penalty. Oh, Damien McKenzie. You can't train pace.
No, you cannot. And he had a start to Vola. And McKenzie was static as well. So not only when you're in that position where you are going to get behind the player, so you're never going to get in front of him to make the tackle, so you're going to be behind him, your execution has to be perfect. Go at the hips, make sure that that player cannot slide in. McKenzie did it all perfectly, and then you can maybe rely on a teammate to get to be there as a second arriving player and turn it over. He goes, you know what, boys, I'll do this myself. Here's the line break. McKenzie comes from absolutely nowhere, tackles perfect.
All Blacks win the line out through Whitelock. 17 minutes remaining in the test. The All Blacks have put 50 on Fiji every time they've played. As Barrett gets it off. Reese. Nice pass away to McKenzie, but he's under pressure. Some thumping tackles going on here. Here is Akira Ioane. Ball is there for Smith once more. Now Havili lobs it away for Rico Ioane. Nice pass off to Leonard Brown. He's got Havili there. Oh, but he's fired it away. Wrong colour shirt.
Well, Havili went the opposite way.
So Fiji back in position. Looking to mount something themselves as Lamani gets it away for Vola. Nice fend in on Savia, then losing it in the tackle.
Time off.
Oh, it was a really nice line break from the All Blacks. What I did enjoy was Rico Ioane has been playing a lot of centre, used some footwork, acceleration to break through off a nice offload, and then he drew that last defender in really well. He'd been a little guilty maybe previously of running himself into touch a lot. Well, he went in field, drew the last player, and popped it on the outside where he thought Havili would be, and Havili was on his inside shoulder.
This scrum will be fed by Brad Weber, Justin, so another good night. Test number 99 for Aaron Smith. Here's the move that you're talking about. Just watch the run of Havili there. Yeah, and I think had he gone right and he connected Anton Leonard-Brown, they might have got 5.
Yeah, and excuse me, that was obviously the offload with Ioane. It was Anton Leonard-Brown. Just brought that last defender, and Havili was just too far on his inside shoulder. The pop on the outside was on. They just couldn't make it work.
Kitione Kamita in jersey 20 for Fiji. And also in jersey number 21, Mosesi Sorovi.
And as you saw, for Sky New Zealand subscribers and viewers, Channel 50, player cam is Ardie Savea tonight. Man, I tell you what, he's been powerful. He's a good one to have on camera tonight. You can follow him for the whole entire game, and there's plenty to look at. Great to see him back in the black jersey. 50th test tonight for Ardie Savea.
First scrum feed then for Brad Weber. And linking away with Havili. Barrett has gone wide, but Havili decides to take it into the contact. Plenty of pressure for Weber, but he get it off to Jacobson, who's been all industry tonight. Luke Jacobson, strong in the carry. Now here is Ioane, Akira that is. Here's Jacobson going again. Sets it up for Weber. Now Barrett hands it on for Savia. Now McKenzie. Leonard Brown. Again, strong tackling going on. McKenzie. Havili hangs on at second attempt. Ball is loose. And now possible counter-attack here from the Fijians. But the All Blacks assemble quickly on defence. Now Sorovi lobs it off downfield. Bit of a nothing kick, because here comes Reese. He's got support if he needs it. In the end, takes a dive in midfield. But it's there for Weber. McKenzie, awkward. And did he knock it on? Yep. Gave himself up, really. And then gets smacked by Punavula, who'll probably help him up now.
Timing was right.
He thrives on it. They call him Big Jim down south.
You see Sevi Reece slipping. You could argue he was committed. Kunavula, but
He got cleaned out last week too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Mackenzie,
He did.
Shannon Frizzell about to empty the bench for the All Blacks.
I tell you what, we'll see at Nayatha level. He is a big unit. He has been coming up hard and quick in the midfield. He's 110 kgs and 6'4" from Stade Francais. And once again, we're going to be referred to the big screen for Aaron Patterson to have a look at this to see whether or not there was an arm wrap. It is late. I think he was committed. He's trying to wrap. He's hit him first with the shoulder. He's hit him in the chest. It's not high.
It's a no-arms tackle that's late, so it'll be a penalty against Fiji there for no-arms late tackle. There's no hide or direct contact to the head. Agree?
Agree, yes.
Okay, cool. So it'll be a penalty here. What's the number? 7?
What is? It's going to say no arm.
7.
What does
I don't know,
do?
mate. I don't know.
Tackle, late tackle. Late tackle, no arms.
Look, I can probably concur with the late tackle, and I'll leave it at that. But he's hit. It's his shoulder, and he's certainly not made contact with the head. And the arm wrap is anyway.
Right, so it's a penalty to the All Blacks.
Justified late hit penalty.
So Fiji penalised 12 times tonight, the All Blacks 8. Retallick takes it in. Savia, Tokiaho decides he might go for a run, and away he goes. The big hooker. Now it's there for Webber to swing it away. And the All Blacks threatening once again. As Webber, now Barrett goes wide, McKenzie. Bit of traffic, but he's still going, Damien McKenzie. Now they've got him. And Webber looks to work it away. Here's Leonard Brown. Close to the line, and try given. Shannon Frizzell, I think. Let's have a look.
Yeah. He called it, Nisbo.
Only been on the park 30 seconds, and Shannon Frizzell gets the try that brings the 50 up.
Set piece move off the line out. Talkiaho, he had Sevi Reece on the inside, didn't need him, goes through the replacement. Kami Thal. And then from there, a couple of phases. Anton Leonard Brown goes close. Frizzell's right there, number 20, and he goes over.
Well, it threatened to be really just about a hometown try because it went through 5 sets of hands of Chiefs players, and then a Highlander managed to grab it in the end and scored to bring out the 50. But certainly the All Blacks now have 12 minutes to really cement an improved performance.
This time Barrett on target. Converts the try scored by Shannon Frizzell. 55-13. And I guess when we look at this game, Justin will say, how many All Black tries have come after, shall we say, dubious decisions?
They have been effective, though, the All Blacks tonight, haven't they? And make your own luck, and they've certainly, I think, really rattled Fiji in some areas they didn't last week, which has been a big improvement.
Misalami Dolakoto on a jersey 16, and that clears both benches.
Down it goes for Havili. That's a massive return punt from David Havili from inside the 22. It's been quickly taken, though, by Tuivuvu. But the All Blacks have got Fiji under pressure. A lot of the big forwards taking a while to get back here behind the ball.
Let's go, use wide.
And now they get a halfback in there, finally. The last 10 minutes cost Fiji badly last week. Now punching it downfield was Sorovi. Nicely again from McKenzie. Barrett at full pace, and that's always a sight. taking on the defence. Bowden Barrett takes it inside Fijian territory. Webber away for Mackenzie. Havili and Ioane frees himself up. All Blacks really turning up the screws now as Barrett slings it wide. Takiaho hands it on for Savia. Nailed in the tackle, getting close to this touchline, and just too many Fiji jerseys.
Time off. 20 whites coming on.
Liking what I'm seeing from Rieko Ioane. Pretty much spent 2 years playing at centre, the All Blacks. Having him as a replacement this evening on the wing. And he's looked threatening every time he's touched the ball. A couple of offloads, many line breaks. Looks explosive as well. Good to see. Man, there's some competition for places in that back three.
Yeah. Delacoto with the line-out throw. Not so good as nice work from Retallick. Manages to find Jacobson. Now Savia Barrett away for Havili. Quick hands here. And it breaks down out wide.
No advantage.
Terrific
Knock
transfer
on,
of the ball between
Knock
about
on
7
wide.
or 8 players.
Scrum.
Just the last pass.
It was just a little low, wasn't it? It's typical. You commentator, you just give a player a rap and he makes a mistake, but I don't think this was entirely Rieko Ioane's fault. It was a nice shift on from Anton Leonard-Brown under pressure. Damien McKenzie was getting sweated on by Mata Ali as well. Tried to transfer it quickly. It was a bit low and behind him, Rieko Ioane. You can excuse him for that, but that's just a result of the Fijians coming up hard and fast on that inside hip and forcing the All Blacks to find that space quickly.
Next time the All Blacks front will be for the first of the Bledisloe Cup test matches in Auckland.
Yep, the Aussies are in town, aren't they? Man, that's been some sort of series too.
Yeah, it
Catch
has.
that later on tonight on Sky Sport.
Absolutely.
And
The decider.
Aaron Smith becomes the first halfback for 100. Justin?
Yes, he does. Yeah, you'd think probably, and I know this is no slight on any of the other players, Ian Foster's got some tough decisions to make leading into that Australian test match at Eden Park, the first Bledisloe. But you would have to say probably one of the most assured positions, apart from Sam Whitelock, would be Aaron Smith, which would mean, yes, he would be the first ever 100th test capped All Black halfback. Man, what a competitor and what a player. So much respect for what he's achieved in the game. And will go on to achieve.
Yeah.
He's not done by any means.
Dolakoto with the line-out throw. Fiji win it, but struggling to free it up. Now they do. Now the little pop pass, which is anybody's ball.
Boys, they can't play advantage on the ground. It's a knock-on by Black. Here.
So a knock-on will take us to a scrum with just under 8 minutes remaining. Remember, the All Blacks scored 9 tries last week. They conceded 3.
Here's your mark, boys.
Tonight they've got 8 and conceded 1.
Well, I'm interested, Smithy, to see if Fiji can find another way through, because the All Black defence has been very good tonight, and for all that talent that we've been speaking about coming out of Europe that Fiji have, possess power, pace, speed, they haven't been able to get any of them really in space tonight from set piece.
No, they certainly have not been the ball-carrying strength that they were last week. Maybe they're missing Botia. Who wouldn't? I mean, on that performance last week, midfield, they're missing him. But if they score now, the honest score would not be that much different to last week.
Big All Black scrum, and they win a penalty.
Been beaten up there.
Yeah, the injuries have cost them a bit. They are actually, at the moment, having to have Frank Lamani playing on the wing.
Teti Tela in jersey 22 for Fiji. And that'll be for Tui Fugu.
Time on.
Takiaho to throw. Jacobson, who's been big tonight, has another good strong charge from Havili. Weber. Away for Jacobson. Now a hard charge by Frizzell. Weber. Savia. Looks to offload, does so for Weber. There's a Fijian player down as Frizzell takes the contact. Ball pops out. Reese. Sevu Reese. Terrific on his feet. In the end went nowhere at all, but sucked a few players in as Jacobson. And now Weber swings it off to Barrett. Havili, it's Leonard Brown. Sets it up again. Weber swings it off for Barrett. Retallick first receiver. As the All Blacks continue to build pressure. Now it's Whitelock, doesn't score many tries. Loose pass, hits Sevu Reese, who wasn't looking. I'm not sure that it was a knock-on. Surely if it hits your shoulder or your back, it's not a knock-on.
Yeah, Sevu Reese was making his way back around the back to be that option, as good wingers do when they've gravitated in ball. Check out the tunnel ball just to get rid of the pressure from Damien McKenzie between his legs to free the space, and then the dazzling footwork of Sevu Reese. Sam Whitelock got hit in a pretty hefty tackle. Hit him on the back right shoulder, Sevu Reese. You'd have to question whether that's gone forward.
Well, you can't question Fiji's commitment either. They defended that really well, They had about a 5-on-2 when Leonard Brown cut back inside, so it may have been an opportunity for the All Blacks there. But having said that, once they stopped them, they regrouped out on the left, and the All Blacks were stopped out there again. So Fiji's commitment in defence it's been, for me, one of the highlights of these 2 weeks. The All Black bodies will testify to that too, I'm sure. I'm
sure they will, but what has impressed me, we've seen a different balance about David Havili's game tonight. He's 88 kgs, he's just nearly on 6'2", but at 88 kgs, when he's up against 110, 115 in the Fijian midfield, he never seems to get knocked backwards that much. He's taken a couple of shots tonight when he's got ball and man at the same time, but having a look at some of the games this evening, Stormers versus the British and Irish Lions tomorrow morning at 4 AM New Zealand time on Cape Town. How good will that be? And then the big one, Nisbo.
Yep, 3 weeks from tonight, Eden Park. First of 3 against the Wallabies this season, one of which is in Perth. Directly after this, the decider across the Tasman. It's been a closely fought series between France and the Wallabies. Now detaching off the back goes Tui Sue.
Let's go, 9U's!
Just 4.5 minutes left in this test match in Hamilton. A ground where the All Blacks have only ever lost once, and that was to the Springboks back in 2009. There's Sarabi. Oh, can't go that way. Let's try the open side. Just looking to hold the ball for maybe the last 4 minutes. Now a chance out wide, but a hand went up, and the All Blacks are back in control of this through Anton Leonard-Brown. Now the ball bounces up for Barrett. Away for Frizzell. Plenty of space out wide here for Rieko Ioane. Pounces up for Taukei'aho. And he's lost the ball. Not forward, apparently, as Barrett. Carried up by De Groot. Pops the pass beautifully. Now Ta'avau, McKenzie. Reese upended. Here's Leonard Brown, who's really come through this test tonight. As the ball is stolen away by Fiji. Been a few late turnovers in the game as Fiji want to finish on a high note. They do get a penalty.
Yeah, Ardie Savea was off his feet. Sevu Reese has had some sort of a game. Yes, he scored 3 tries, but his general play and then his read on defence there, they'd just managed through a transition, deep runner, Fiji to create an opportunity, but he stepped in, got in the way of the pass. negated the overlap and batted the ball back onto the All Blacks side, and then 2 minutes later he was back in the play as a transition runner, got cut down but flicked it off the ground. He's got some skills. You can see his carry meters tonight, best in the game.
Last week, Fiji conceded 57, which was their least number against the All Blacks. So they'll be hoping not to concede late in this one. As it bounces up for Saravi. Now Lamani, lovely work. Tipped up though in the end by Frizzell. Ball pounces away for Saravi. As Fiji continue in possession, and they've got another penalty here. And looking to work his way through midfield was Teller.
Boys, no advantage.
But there's no advantage,
Black
so
offside.
another penalty.
7 black offside, 7 black.
So Adi Savia conceding a couple of late penalties. Well, they're still happy, and they've once again seen another gutsy performance. At 29-6 at half-time, and then conceding a quick try after the interval. Things looked ominous, but they've stayed in the fight, Fiji, and they'll be looking to finish with a flourish. The All Black defence in midfield has been good, and another very good defensive effort by Leonard Brown and Havili. So one last opportunity from a scrum here for the All Blacks. Very pleasing for Ian Foster that the two guys who hadn't played All Black rugby this season, Adi Savia and Anton Leonard-Brown, have both come through this game and have both played 80 minutes, Justin.
Absolutely, and I think it'll be very pleasing for him that he's had 2 very tough physical test matches to have a very good look at all of the depth and talent that he's got in this side and work his way towards naming that starting 15 against Australia at Eden Park, because these have been good true test matches, and he would have learnt a lot, no doubt, as would the players.
Into the last minute as Webber calls for another effort from the pack, looking to milk another penalty, which they've done. And now here's Webber, frees it up to Barrett, puts some pace on, looking to run Rieko Ioane into some sort of space, and to his eternal credit, the referee says that advantage is over.
Penalty back here, no advantage.
Oh, no. He's made a liar of me.
That's a funny one, isn't it? Again, you know, there's a genuine line break, an opportunity, Barrett. But we go all the way back, some 30-odd metres to a penalty.
Boy.
Sam Kane there.
White not pushing straight.
May not see him until later in the season. Aidan Ross, Chiefs teammates, a bit of a Chiefs reunion. So the All Blacks will get another shot at this, as Barrett makes a very good kick.
Anyone want to put some money on what's going to happen here? We could see
2 on debut.
Samisoni Taukei'aho come up with a dub on debut.
What about a variation? Come on.
Wadi's at halfback.
So let's get the line out organised first. Won by Rotella. And it's gone to... And Taukei'aho! Oh, dear. We picked it.
We picked it. We knew exactly what was going to happen. Smithy called it as well. When you all thought that we were going to say it's going to be a driving ball and Taukei'aho was going to flop over, we knew that they were going to do something special to get him down that tram line. We're geniuses, and so are the All Blacks. It was really well worked. I said Savia out the back, and that ball bounced on the ground, actually, so I'm not sure how that transpired. It doesn't look like it's been anything controversial, but when it went to transfer to Savia, he got it on the bounce. I'm not quite sure how that transpired, but anyway, Taukei'aho gets his second, Smithy.
Yeah, well, he's made impact, hasn't he? You know, it probably has to go back and wait his turn, but they know they know in terms of depth that they've got someone they can call on if need be, and injuries they do happen, and Dane Coles has had quite a few of them over the years, to be fair. So can Beauden Barrett put the icing on an improved performance?
Right from the sideline, Barrett's kick stays out to the right. And that, my friends, is that. The All Blacks have won. They scored 9 tries again tonight, but they allowed just 1. And the All Blacks have beaten Fiji here in Hamilton by 60 points to 13.